100 years old.
My back.
That's how I feel after this US election.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been, yeah, I think it's funny because everyone was like excited for 2020. You know, it's the cool, it's like the coolest,
roaring 20s.
Well, and I feel like it's the coolest sounding year there is. Like 2020, 2020 vision, 2020 everything. You know, it's like
Sure.
but
But what
no,
we're seeing now is just
has
all
not
bad.
been that year.
It's just all bad.
All right, I'm gonna get this post on the gram. Posting the story. Nope, that's not how you do it. Someone's learning how to gram. I think it's on. Business, baby! It's great business!
Nice.
Instantly. We started,
It's the way to start.
the moment we
As soon
started,
as you start.
yeah, I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own it.
You should.
I'm gonna say, this is me and all my flaws. Take them or leave them.
I mean, it's a cool shirt. So.
I appreciate the compliment. I love this shirt. It's actually Rick and Morty brand, so it's not like that knockoff shit, you know. And it's
It's that real good shit.
it's that good shit. Yeah, dude,
It's that good.
It's a nice shirt, man. It's very
You got
comfortable.
any more of the Mortys?
I actually like your shirt too. It's real simple, and I
Yeah.
want that. I want like, because that's what I like
More
about it is that it's
understated.
like you can't see it too well until
Yeah.
you look at it. And you're like, oh shit, that's a fucking nerd shirt.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, yeah,
Well, you know.
kind of on that. But yeah, and like it's the fact that it's quality.
Sure.
So you want to do like a? So I got a suggestion from a viewer, a fan.
Ooh.
And it's more. I've kind of been against intros. Like I want it to feel more natural between you and I. Like
Right.
we're just hanging out, we're just talking,
Right.
catching up,
Sure.
you know. But they suggested an intro. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, as a viewer though, I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are.
Right.
I don't know the setting, the time, or anything like that. So if anything, the two suggestions, which I thought were good suggestions, were one, try to keep it more like modern, try to keep it more like in today's time, you
Sure.
know, and as well as have an intro. Tell us who you guys are.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna have an intro, but
Do it.
in the camera. Which camera? 1, 2. We got 4 cameras.
We have so many cameras.
That's cool. We got
Too many cameras.
Let's see.
Too many cooks. Anyway. I apologize.
Hello, and welcome. Welcome to episode 4 of the Giancarlo podcast. Tonight, October 2nd, we have Jacob Crothers.
Hi.
Hey! Jacob, now it's your turn.
Oh God.
No, essentially like a small intro for you. Who are you? Where are you from? Give me a little bit of info on you.
Sure.
But it's not super podcasty, more
Yeah.
just like, give us a start.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jacob Crothers. I'm a local musician, singer-songwriter. I have a music project that I'm working on right now called The Art of the Artist. Our debut album is You Were Not Alone, was supposed to come out on the 10th, but I'm probably going to have to
This
push
10th.
it. Yeah, the 10th, like next week.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to have to, whatever. Probably going to have to end up pushing it back a little bit just due to
Yeah.
COVID and the fires. The scheduling with musicians is difficult just on during a good time.
Yeah.
But you throw a global pandemic and everything literally being on fire, it makes it kind of difficult to
Yeah.
get everybody to get together.
What do you
so
mean
we
you're
can
busy?
record. Yeah. Like I had to help a friend of a friend move his stuff because he lived by one of the fires. I don't remember what the name of the town is. It's up by Sacramento. Anyways, I helped him move a bunch of his stuff into my storage unit
Yeah.
because he was worried about it catching on fire.
Is it
So,
yours or his?
it was my storage unit.
Yeah.
Just had it.
So he was like pretty near it, or
No.
he's just being super safe?
He's being super safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he didn't have anything. He was going to move it to his parents' house. And I was like, I have a storage unit and it's not that full. So
Yeah. How much you charging?
Just pizza.
Okay. All right.
Like he just gave me food and stuff.
That's a deal. That's a good deal. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to figure out a storage unit situation pretty soon because no joke, I think I want to live on the road. I think I want to. I was doing life insurance for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was literally sleeping in my car in a different town, and in a fucking suit and tie.
Right.
And I'm like super uncomfortable. It's not me. It's not who I am.
Yeah.
You know. And so I'm like, why am I living out of my car for something that I don't care about? And now that I feel like I'm finding more like my positioning, what I care about, what I do like, I'm like, oh, I can live out of my car for that.
Yeah.
You know. But my dream car to live out of, VW bus.
Oh yeah. Right.
VW bus. Dude.
Obviously.
I don't care how beat up or how new or how
It's
fancy.
even better.
Yeah. It's
Honestly.
like it's got.
I want to know there's acid
got a story.
seared into the leather.
I
I want to be able to lick it and see colors I've never seen before.
It's like it's so rusted. It's like you can just see through it. It's
Yeah.
Like just paper. That's what Jake said. He was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Like I hope you enjoy it, but just know if you get in a car accident, that's like aluminum in front of you. Like it's like you're gone. You're gone."
So we're drinking butterbeer.
It is so good.
It's
Yeah, I'm referring to you more. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Brought it myself.
The
It's,
first drink, the first special drink of the podcast.
Brings a tear to your eye.
That's pretty cool. I feel special right now, and it's really good. Have you had real butterbeer?
No, I haven't. I'm a bad Harry Potter fan, bro. I've never gone to the magical world of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Universal Studios. I hate you.
It is so like everyone says it's sweet, but you don't realize why everyone says it till you get there, and you're like, holy shit. My mom and I would get the less sweet one, and we would split them both. We'd split it into 2 cups and water it down, and it was still too sweet.
Really?
Yeah. And that was the lower one. And the higher one is delicious. It's super good. It's worth it. But yeah, one sip and you're like, woo! Yeah. And this is similar. You know, it's caramel and cream soda. That's sugar on sugar.
And then French vanilla
That's why I
ice
love it.
cream and Malibu because he's sexy. So yeah, it's good.
Is that like sorry, I'm like, it sounds gay, choking on the whipped cream. Is that like a Malibu commercial, like, because I'm sexy?
Because I'm sexy. I don't know. I don't know if it's what they say, but they should.
I'm ready for commercials to be that bold.
Yeah.
Because commercials are so shameless at this point. Like, we're about this, we're about that. The moment, like, that's bad or good. We've never been about that. We're about this now.
Yeah.
You know what? Whatever you're about.
Yeah.
Whatever you're about, we're about. It's like they just shameless.
We're about you giving us your money.
Exactly. That's what we're really about.
That's what we're really.
And so it's like at this point, it's
whatever
like
I have to say to get you to buy Aunt Jemima, fucking syrup or whatever the fuck it is.
get more of that Malibu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Malibu because I'm sexy.
Yeah, so just be that bold.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Own
like
it.
cigarettes, cause they make you look cool. Like
Yeah.
it's like Malibu, cause I'm sexy.
Yeah.
What's yoga pants? You know why?
For the boob.
For the boob.
It's all about that boob.
Always.
Honky tonk.
I love that I have like a camera there, like a mirror. Like I can check what's going on. That feels good.
So a lot of crazy things.
I gotta check if that's recording.
You should.
I don't remember if it's recording. I know the other 2 are.
Okay. I'm recording. Well, I'm not recording. I'm live though. Hello, people.
Ha 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 ha! It's not recording.
It's not recording. Well, you got the 2 other ones. Talk about why people think everyone who isn't evil is racist. Or we could talk about why we're both adorable. I would much rather talk about
We're
that.
adorable,
We're
right?
adorable.
That's what I get all the time. People say that. They say to me all the time.
Why people think everyone who isn't evil is racist.
Ah, dang it! I have it on the computer, but I was looking for talking topics,
Uh-huh.
and there was one like, ask yourselves these questions to like wake yourself up, you know. And I was like, that might be a fun thing to do to try to get us like a little woke during the podcast or whatever. But I was like, what if it gets too deep? Anyway, one of the questions were like, what is racism to you? And like, and it goes super. It's like, well, the word racism is defined as, and it's like a really weird definition. Like it's like, because you know, it's like they try to get super logistical about it, and that's the thing about racism is that there's like a lot of times like today's racism, a lot of emotion. It's not just logistic. Like if it was just logic, it would be racism. So it's like, I mean, opinion.
There's a lot of nuance I think in it now, and that's where people are. I feel like maybe going a little overboard. Is every little thing, any little thing you do could be construed as racist now.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you don't mean to be at all.
Yeah.
And then you're canceled.
That's the thing is that like, I think that's where you gotta be true to yourself. You
Yeah.
have your morals, you know, because it's like, I don't hate racist people. There's a lot of good racist people out there. Like, racism, like having one flaw doesn't make you a flawed human being. Overall.
You just have something you definitely need to work on.
You need to work on that shit, bro. Like, but it doesn't mean you're
gotta be careful about saying shit like that.
No, it's true. It's 100% true.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
No, there's levels of racism.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Yeah, exactly. You automatically assume the extremists. You know, and it's like I'm not. You can be racist and just hate like a type, and then say, but just walk away from it. Like it's like I feel one way. I feel strongly one way, but I'm not gonna do something about it. I'm not an extremist. So it's like racism to me is completely natural. In fact, to me, what it is, it's humans. We seek out patterns. Mm-hmm. That's how humans work.
Yeah.
We seek out patterns. That's why you see it in babies. Babies, they show what we call racism, but it's not racism to a baby. There's no hate behind it. They just see like, hey, there's a pattern. I see a white baby, white baby, white baby, and I see a black baby. And so that's different. I don't know if it's good or bad, but now my mind is starting to think like, okay,
accept it, process.
Is there a pattern that I need to pay attention to? But once you realize like, oh, that's not an important pattern, you know, it's like you should get over that. But the problem becomes some people get locked in that pattern. Some people really think that like they think different can mean better, you know, and it's like no, different just means different. It's not, doesn't mean one has to be better than the other, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think it's a completely natural thing. And when people say like they're not racist, it's like, okay, well you're trying to hide something about yourself.
You become more, nervous about that person just immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Suspicious.
You don't trust, it's like, okay, you're lying to yourself, so you can't be honest with me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you're trying to be honest, but you live through a lens that you can't comprehend.
Right.
You don't even know there's a lens there.
Yeah.
Dude, I said this story, I don't know when, but I hope it's not on the podcast, so I'm not repeating the story. But I was with this one girl once, and she, you know, you get to talking and you kind of get to knowing them a little more. And she says, oh, well, I don't see color. You know? And I was like,
that's fucking bullshit.
Well, that was the thing, is that like, I was like, oh, like metaphorically. You know, like you don't see a difference. And she's like, no, I don't see color. And I was like, are you?
So purple doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was like, you know colorblind people see color, right? Like it's not like that type of color, you know? And I remember I said to her, I'm not saying it was a smart thing to say, but I said to her, I was like, well, they do. So, like, it's like, no matter how, because like being a fucking Mexican, it's like, I can tell the difference between a Mexican and an American, you know? And it doesn't mean every time I have a sixth sense about it, like I can never be wrong. It's like sometimes it's like, oh shit, you're Mexican? Like, man, I would have assumed otherwise, you know? But, yeah, because of the lens. I can admit that there's a lens there, you know?
The prejudice. To an extent.
Prejudice is kind of negative connotation.
Not necessarily. I feel like it's a preconceived notion that you have about people, and that's the lens that you have about certain people. And maybe it can be negative, maybe it can be positive, like thinking that black dudes have big dicks.
But doesn't, yeah, exactly. It's like,
Like
you
that's
gotta,
one of those things. It's just.
but you're saying prejudice doesn't have a negative connotation to the word? It's
No,
more,
there is a negative connotation to the word. I think it's unnecessary because I feel like it's that natural. That's the lens that you're talking about.
yeah, if you were to be able to see it.
Everyone has prejudices
Yeah.
based on your experience,
Yeah.
things you've been brought up to believe.
Yeah, your experience, yeah.
And your experience, of course, is huge on that. But that's just objective facts from science that we can see about things. It's not inherently negative. It can be negative, obviously. Because when taken to the extreme, you think like, oh, this means all black people, or once you say all about any group or subject of society, you're just an idiot.
The only absolute is there's no absolute.
Yeah, there's no absolute.
Yeah.
There's always one asshole that is just completely different from
You're gonna ruin racism for us.
Yeah, or
You
whatever.
diverse motherfucker.
How dare you?
Yeah. No, it's true, and that's the thing is that I think some people don't want to admit it. You know, it's like it's okay.
100%. It's okay. It's just something we all have things to work on. Nobody's perfect.
There's a difference between having like an issue and pretending that you don't.
Yeah. But just for an instant, I was back when Black Lives Matter was just first coming back in, George Floyd and all that stuff.
Yeah,
of course, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So I was at a sit-in in front of the sheriff's office in the jail that's in Modesto, and I was hanging out with everybody. They were kind of accepting me as being a part of the group, and then they found out I was a Scorpio, and immediately everybody's opinion about me changed.
Really?
Because my birthday is in November. Yeah, like 2 of them said, I don't get it because you're such a nice person, but you're a Scorpio. I was like, I am a nice person. They're like, no, you're not.
Well, yeah.
So I don't get that. That's a prejudice.
And then they're fighting for like equal rights, no racism.
Yeah, and I
all
was
that.
too, and I'm there for the same reason.
That's the thing is that like a lot of people preach their ideology with hate, and it's like that's not a way to get someone on your side.
Yeah,
you know,
of course not.
It's you gotta meet.
I understand sometimes where they hate like all the riots and everything. I understand where that comes from. Like when MLK famously said, "A riot is the voice of the unheard." He also, throughout the whole rest of that speech, condemned riots. But basically, what he's saying is like, what the fuck do you expect to keep happening if they're being if they're stigmatized against them negatively by the police, by the government, continually, repeatedly, every couple years? It's happened over and over and over again. There's no change. We keep having all these protests, and we keep saying the same things to the politicians, and nothing happens. What do you think is going to happen? Eventually, people are just going to explode and pop. A blood vessel is going to go off, and they're going to do something that they probably wouldn't have done normally. But it's only because of the extreme situation that they're being put into.
Yeah.
And that is, unfortunately, when most change happens. The Civil Rights Act in the 60s happened after there was a week of riots after MLK was murdered.
That's why people advocate for it.
Yeah.
Because there is people end up trying to label things as good or bad, as if there's never been a good riot or a bad riot. It's like they're all just riots.
Boston Tea Party, technically a riot.
It just gets classified. We like to label things that way. It's easier for us to take, but it's like it goes deeper than that. You know.
Well, it's not black and white.
I think when humans are made, we survive. That's the only reason we're here is that we survive. And so the moment there's too much pressure, we're gonna fight back. And
it's a natural human thing.
It's not.
It's not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that the riots are good. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, what the hell do you expect people to do?
Yeah, exactly. It's not new. It's like you study history, you see every time this happens, once like a group of people has absolute power, then the people start to like, oh, okay, I kind of don't like this. I disagree.
This is kind of bullshit. You're subjugating me.
They're gonna fight back.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's
the history of America. Taxation without representation, right? I mean, that's the history of this country. It's what we were founded.
But like, where is it not?
That's true.
You know,
that's true
it's just like human history.
Yeah.
like.
Fuck you! I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
That vein in all of us. That's why that song resonates with so many people. Because there's that thing in the back of your head, that little dude that's just like, nah, fuck you. You can't tell me what to do.
I was listening to a doctor talk about that, about how, you know how you have different parts of your brain?
Sure.
Yeah, essentially, the smart part of our brain is in the middle, and the rest of the dumb parts of our brain are sending the smart part of our brain like signals to complete a task. You know, you're hungry, or you're hot, or you're in danger. You know, you're horny. Like it's like, and so it's funny how all these dumb.
That one gets around the smart part often.
No, that's the
Often.
monkey brain. That's the monkey brain is one of the biggest parts.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that like it's funny how all these dumb animalistic brains are really in charge of the smart brain. Like humans are definitely capable of like being intelligent,
Of course.
but they're also very capable of being dumb as fuck.
Fucking
Like it's like it's like you can't deny that it's like, oh, but humans should be that. It's like that's one part of humans, and like it's a good part, and you should focus
Obviously
on
it's
it.
great.
Like,
Yeah.
I love saying
Like NASA. That is an amazing and an incredible effort that we do, looking into space, into the universe, to try and further understand everything that's going on around us continually.
Yeah.
And it's great. But how many people work at NASA versus how many people there are? You know?
Yeah.
Like there's what, like maybe 20,000 people? I don't know exactly how many that work at NASA. Let's just say there's like 200,000 people that work at NASA.
Stop.
Which is a great thing. But there's 350 million in America. Sorry, a dog is a good little.
Alright, I'm gonna see if she wants to go inside.
For a clarification, we're doing a podcast.
Come on.
This is my buddy Giancarlo.
Well, yeah, we went right past intros, dude. Like, I said my intro, I said hi, and then you were like, yeah, I'm a guitarist. Today, and just like,
yeah. We just kind of went. Well, somebody just she just came in a little late, I guess.
That's fine. Yeah, I wanted to ask some like similar stuff about you too, like where you're from.
I'm from a couple different places. I was born in San Leandro, in the Bay Area. I lived there for like a year, so I don't really remember too much of it. We moved to bounce around. We lived in Hayward. We lived in a couple different places in San Jose for a while. And then we moved down to Moreno Valley, which is SoCal, Riverside County. It's like an hour away from Death Valley, an hour away from Los Angeles, so it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. Basically, it's like Oakdale, but smaller and worse.
Yeah.
Because it's hotter, like way hotter. I
So
remember.
at what age were you then?
I would have been like 6 or 7. We moved down there because my dad became a pastor at a church.
Yeah.
He was the associate pastor down there for a while.
Okay.
And then my parents split up, I didn't know that at the time that was happening, but they were going to split up, so we moved up back to San Jose to live with my grandparents. And he lost the job because he told his boss that he wanted to get a divorce, so they fired him. Yeah, so that's how come we had to move back up to San Jose. And then I started going to school there.
That's like the pastor thing?
Yeah, I guess at that church. I don't know, man. It was that church. It was that guy. He was like, you can't do that and be a pastor here. So
It would look bad on the community.
pretty much, more or less. So then we moved to Oakdale. Well, what happened is my grandparents drove up to Yosemite and then stopped in Oakdale because it's the last place to stop before we got there. You know.
Yeah.
They fell in love with it. They bought a house over there, so we moved over there. My cousins moved over here too. My aunt and uncle on my mom's side
Oh yeah?
did as well.
The whole family ended up kind of coming over?
Pretty much, and my dad did eventually as well.
Where's most of your family at right now?
There's so my mom is in Modesto. My brother's in LA. My little sister lives in Oakdale with my dad. And my dad and his wife are in Oakdale as well. And then my other brother, Evo, who's like an adopted brother. You know Evo.
Why is he your brother?
Yeah, we call him my brother now.
Oh.
Because he's lived with us for so long. You know, he was a foreign exchange student.
It sounds like he still does.
So yeah, he lives in Oakdale. He works for the wine group. They're the biggest wine producer in the world, I guess. They technically produce more wine than Gallo, but Gallo makes more alcohol than anybody because they don't just sell wine. They sell brandy, whiskey, beer, everything.
Oh yeah, wine alone.
Wine is where they start. Oh yeah, with just wine, yeah, wine group is bigger. So he works for the corporate office over there. Yeah, he was a foreign exchange student from Slovakia, and he lived with us for a couple of years, and then he went back, and then he came back and lived with us again, so he could become a U.S. citizen, which took like 3 years.
No, I have stories of
Yeah,
and
sure.
partying with you guys.
Yeah.
And
Good times.
yeah,
Good times. The ones we remember are good times.
Evo was a
Three.
yeah, exactly. He was a crazy motherfucker.
He is a crazy. Well, he's not as crazy anymore.
But back then, yeah, when he was younger, you're setting an example, you know. And yeah, it's like he was tough. Yeah. He was fun though. Yeah, he was always a good guy. And yeah, Maddie locked on going hard. Well, they were just
still doing great.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's so good to hear. Same with the two couples that have made it, that have lasted, that have just done like amazing, are them and Kaylee and Noah Wilson.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're together like
fucking
ever now.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's really it's cool when you see it. You know, it's like, all right, like I'm rooting for you.
Yeah,
you know.
Hoping. You just never know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's tough, but just what in life is, you know. So it's like they seem to be good at something, which is relationships. You know, so it's like, fuck yeah, go on you. Yeah. So it's nice to see. But
it's so rare. It's so tough. But sometimes you just meet the right person and just clicks.
You hear about it all the time, but then you never see it. You know, and then what I also don't like is if you ever meet those people and you talk to them and you ask them like, okay, have you really been together this long? 7 times out of 10, I really don't know the numbers. They'll probably say no. They'll probably be like, no, we have our breakups and our things like this and that. Of course. To me, that's like doesn't count. To me, it's like you should restart the timer then. You know, it's like. It's just not the same, in my opinion. I don't know. This feels like if you were on a race with somebody, and then somebody was like, "Hey, I'm gonna just go on this other path and let someone else take over for a minute, like run for me." You know, it's like, whoa, you're the one running. You don't get someone else to run for you. Yeah, that's
not how that works.
This is a test of your endurance. You know, so yeah, it's like I would see that sometimes, like, oh, we've been together off and on this many times about that. I'm like, oh, so since the last time, how long have you been together? Because apparently that's how long your relationship lasts. Right. But anyway, I'm an asshole. I can be an asshole. I'll say that.
I just think we all can.
Yeah. Intros. So you're from here. So yeah, you've stayed in California like your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much lived here. I've been, elsewhere.
Yeah.
When my grandparents bought their house in San Jose in the 60s, 70s for like 20 grand and sold it for almost $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's San Jose, it's the Bay Area.
Yeah, exactly.
In general, any real estate in the Bay just blew up after the Silicon Valley and the tech boom there, and IBM and all those other companies moving in. So they made quite a bit of money on that. So they took us over to Hawaii, like on a trip. That was like, nope.
Yeah, like
around that's only. I was in 8th grade. 8th grade going into high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went on a cruise. We went to a bunch of different islands. I've been up to Oregon a bunch of times. We got a lot of family that lived up there. That's where my Nona. That's what I call my grandmother on my mom's side, Nona. Slovakian for grandma. And
it's funny how it just comes over like the Spanglish or the Slovakian.
Yeah, Slovakiish. Yeah.
Slovakiish.
So she's from up in Oregon. That's where her family's from. So.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have any family in Oregon, and I'm gonna get yelled at. But yeah, a lot of family in California. Most of the family in California, and then a lot of family in Mexico. Like, it's pretty much like white family in California. Actually, I wonder, the light still looks good, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
How's it look on your phone?
It was good. Doesn't change. Hasn't changed at all.
Fuck yeah. The lights work. This was
Yeah.
the first episode with the lights.
Yes.
It's probably,
All the lights.
probably a little darker than perfect, but not bad. Anyway.
It's fine.
Yeah, family Mexico, family California. Essentially, that's how divided white Mexicans. But I was born in Santa Clara. I don't think we even lived there. No, I think we lived there for like a year, like my first year being born. And then I think they moved to Kansas. And I don't remember Kansas. My first memory was in Kansas, but like I don't remember.
Yeah.
anything.
My first memory, I think, is technically in San Leandro, but I don't remember it.
Exactly, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like an image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this once, I was in, I think, like, I'm gonna guess, like a church daycare or something, and somebody came up to pick me up to take me home, and I was really excited about it. That's all I know.
Nice. I think like running from like the hallway to like the master bathroom, and so I could just see like the house a little bit, like I can see myself being small. It's a motion sensor.
Oh,
I can
okay.
see myself like being small and having like the tub was up here, you know. So it's like I was adorable little shit. But yeah, I moved to Florida, moved to Kansas, lived in Los Banos, lived in Oakland, Stockton, Pleasanton, Modesto, Oakdale. That's all that comes to mind right now. Most recently lived in Washington, and then I think we lived in Mexico for a year too. And I love going. I try to go to Mexico every year. And one of the last times I was there for like 2 months, like 2.5 months. That went so well. Like it's crazy. Like you do a 2.5 month trip there, and you think like, okay, you must have had your fill, and it's like, no, that's just the start. That's the tip of the iceberg. It's just that's what got me interested, you know. It's just so much more fun over there, dude. And then we did New York.
Oh yeah, New York. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
We took a picture with the naked cowboy.
Yes. Yeah.
Back when that was a thing.
Yeah. Back when he was doing that. Now there's probably a bunch of them, but it was original.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the original one.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
99%.
99% sure. Yeah, myself as well.
The guy, and it's funny because like he was on so much like TV and movies. He's still just that guy.
He just does that.
Yeah, he's not. It's not like he got like a role or like anything.
Yeah, no, just people take pictures with him.
But apparently not. He gets money. He's
Hey,
known.
as long as make a living, I guess.
He's known. But
Let's
yeah,
see.
Ronnie had such a good story about New York because I'm interviewing him here on the podcast. We're talking about New York, right? And he just instantly goes, "Oh yeah, fun fact about that trip. I had a double ear infection
Yeah, I remember.
and couldn't see because I gave John my glasses and he lost them." And I was like, like,
so for Chicago, I remember telling him, "Oh my God, these women are so beautiful." He's like, "Must be nice being able to see them."
I feel so bad because it's like,
whatever, man.
no, I mean I know it's not like real, but it's at the same time it's like you don't realize the impact you have on someone
Sure.
until much
Years later.
I'm sitting in the same audience with you guys, and I'm like, ha ha ha, this is the best ever, ha ha ha, and he's just like, hate you, and I'm like, what? Like I was like, oh my god. If I would have known, I would have bought him glasses during the fucking trip.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I probably did know, but I was just young and focused on other shit. If you know what I mean.
Well, the first show we saw was Chicago, right? A bunch of half-naked women
Yeah.
dancing around on stage. I was kind of focused on that.
Yeah,
personally.
that was nice.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
I'm still into that.
And then I did Chicago, Phantom of the Opera, and so Lion King.
Yeah.
We all did the same three.
We did the same thing.
Dude, that's funny. I've had you, I've had Ronnie, I've had Jelaine, and all four of us did the same ones. So,
Well, we
yeah.
were like super close knit.
That was the true group. That was the
Yeah.
real group. That
Yeah.
was the. Everyone else was copying us.
Yeah, they were just trying to hang out with us.
Yeah, and it was just like, God, stop trying so hard.
Dude,
You're embarrassing.
it
yourself
really was sad.
right now. Desperation doesn't look good on you. It's not your color. But I remember we were in New York wearing aviators and fedoras.
And fedoras.
So
Yeah.
that was
That's a
how
chapter of my life I don't like to talk about.
that was how cool we were.
We were so cool. Or something.
A lot more something.
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely more something, but whatever. We were in high school, I was fucking 17, I didn't know anything.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know anything about anything.
But that's the thing.
Not
is
that I know anything now.
That's true. Actually, that I do have a topic on that. 5 in, 5 out. If you were to talk to yourself, 5 years ago, what would you say versus 5 years from now?
Okay, 5 years ago, do more guitar scales because you fucking have to, not just that
Well,
one.
so what was 5 years ago?
5 years
That
ago
was
was
2015.
23. Yeah.
So, yeah,
2015. So I was in a band. We toured. It was a whole thing. But I was playing rhythm guitar, and I was dependent on some dude doing the lead stuff, and he wasn't a good person. Kind of like rubbed us off with a lot of money. So
No.
yeah. So it's whatever. I didn't know that at the time.
And that's what you hear about all the time.
Yeah, you just never know. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, right? ACDC, it's fucking the truth. That was a whole fucking thing. Yeah, that was fun. It was in Dry Spell's band, and we got signed to this little indie label. It was our drummer's uncle had a lot of money somehow. I'm like, I don't know if he was a drug dealer, but he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
So he was looking to go more legit. So he wanted to start a record label, and he signed us. And we had a contract, and we were starting to record an album over in Stockton. And the place got broken into in the middle of the night, and the computer that had all of our master tracks on it got taken. So 3 months of work gone in one night.
And it's art. It's
Yeah.
not like, just do it again.
It's
Just
not
make
going to
another.
be the same.
No.
It's never going to be the same, unfortunately.
That hurt.
Yes, it did. It sucked. I'm working on it now. There's a couple songs that I have taken from that project because I wrote. I'm gonna do a humble brag where I wrote everything in the band, more or less. And so I've taken some of those songs, not all of them, because a lot of them sucked. Looking back on it, but you need a lot of songs for an album. And I've kind of condensed them and changed them a little bit because we were progressive pop punk. So that's the best way I can describe it. So it's basically, I just like trimmed a lot of material from the songs, and I've just kept the good bits. I've added a few things
Yeah.
here and there, and there's not all the songs are pop punk. There's 2 songs that are, and then I have like some indie rock. I have this blues tune I'd say called Once. That's gonna be the single. Amber tells me it's a hit, but we'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that song.
That's nice. Tell me what it's called one more time.
Once.
Yeah. And then what do you remember any specific inspiration from that?
Yeah, sure. So when I wrote that song forever ago. I was like 19. I wrote it about this girl who I went on 2 dates with, and it just didn't work out. And I was really sad.
It's really good that you're dating a girl who can understand that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She's an artist too. She's a dancer.
Yeah.
She is a musician herself. She plays the clarinet. She doesn't really play the clarinet anymore, but she does play for a Mo band.
But she has,
and
she has
she
skill.
It's kind of funny, me and her, we know all of the same people, and we've gone to a bunch of the same things together.
Yeah.
Well, not together, but we're at the same place, and we never met until this year. The day before Valentine's Day, we went to a Harry Potter trivia night at St. Stan's downtown.
That is so lame.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a nerd. Whatever. So I went by myself.
Butterbeer.
Yeah, there we go. That's why we're drinking butterbeer. I love Harry Potter. So I went by myself. I invited this girl, but she left me on red. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? So I go and it's fucking packed. The whole place super packed.
Yeah.
So
and it smells really bad too. No, I'm joking. Go.
like beer. So that's I guess that's pretty hard. But we I went towards the entrance and because I saw her and she asked this group of girls if she could sit down at this table, they didn't have the chair, and she let them. And then I asked them if they knew what the Wi-Fi password was. And they were like, yeah, it's on all the tables, so I got it from them. Because you needed that to be able to play the trivia game. It's connected to Wi-Fi, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you did it over the internet.
Yeah.
So, and then I asked them if I could sit at the table. So I sat down next to her, and, we just kind of hit it off.
Aw, dude, congratulations, man.
It was great. It's been great. I mean, it's still new. It's like 6,
That's the best
7
part.
months.
That's the best fucking part. Dude.
Yeah, it really is. It's been awesome.
That's the best fucking part.
She's great.
Enjoy it. I think what's important too is I remember when like my first main relationship didn't work out and you're salty at first.
Yeah.
You're all like.
Of course.
I remember I was looking at young kids and I'm like, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna, I'm just like, yeah, that hatred or whatever.
Both of the makeup does kind of like that.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that like once you're able to have that happen, if you can get me one.
I can. I have to go get ice cream though.
Oh, sure. I'll go get the ice cream while you get this set up.
Okay. So I will entertain everyone in the meantime.
Oh yeah. They're gonna love it.
They're gonna love it. So when I was a young boy, I'm not gonna do that. That would be hilarious and awesome because MCR forever. I'm not actually gonna do that whole thing because that would take a while.
Ready? You don't want to put it on the table? Show how it's made?
Do that.
So actually, before you continue, I have this written down. You're jumping me, but is there something that you can teach me?
Yeah.
And I
Let's
thought
do it right now.
I thought that'd be a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I can teach you how to make butterbeer.
You want me to bring a spoon?
I don't need a spoon.
Okay. I'm gonna hold your camera.
Sure. Yes.
So this is the butterbeer.
So it's pretty easy to make. You need some French vanilla ice cream, or just any kind of vanilla really will work, but French vanilla is super sweet. So I like using it.
You have French vanilla or vanilla bean?
Briars, bro.
Briar.
It's the best. It's the best.
I will be.
A little bit of Malibu, because I'm sexy.
Cause I'm sexy. We did a Mountain Dew one like that. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought
dude.
I was like, it can't be that new. And then cream soda, because it's delicious.
Cause the creamiest.
It's
We not doing that? Just okay.
just you.
Just me.
And I'm gonna get some more cream soda for that. Whoa. Ivy
brandy.
Ooh, I like it. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, delicioso. And a little bit of diabetes in a jar. Just a smidge.
Just a smidge diabetes. Diabetes.
Yeah, perfect. Smacksy.
And then you just kind of let it sit for a minute.
Oh,
so
okay.
it all,
Yeah, I'll hand it off to you.
blend together.
Am I tying my Am I lying
Let's
So-
put the ice cream back.
I should, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Sean.
Yo, look at me. I'm naked. Ooh. That is very complex, but I think I can do it.
It's not that difficult. You just
That
have
was
to
a
know
little
the
sarcasm.
different-
I must have missed. I must have missed my shot. I was
Okay,
aiming
good.
for sarcasm.
Okay, good.
My bad. My bad.
So complicated.
There was 3 ingredients.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah. So that. No joke. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for teaching me something, man. Now,
Cheers.
Cheers, senor.
Cheers.
There's no way you don't give yourself a mustache. It's impossible.
Pandemic special, bro.
Oh my god. Don't even.
It is shot. Let's watch it right now.
Don't even get me started.
Let's show. It's great.
Dude, we're still on 5 for 5. Well, 5 and 5.
Okay,
So
5. Okay.
you were in a band,
So 5.
and 5 years ago in that band you were signed. It was going pretty well.
Yeah.
What would you have told yourself? What would today's self? Right?
Do more guitar scales. Learn more.
More guitar scales or
Scales.
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 Okay.
Scales
That
and
makes
skills is basically it's the same thing.
Oh, I'm the idiot. Okay.
A little bit.
I looked up. All right.
It's alright. So just learn more guitar scales. Practice more guitar scales. Don't
Hone that skill.
don't trust Ronnie.
Don't trust Ronnie.
That's the whole thing. I don't know.
Oh! I thought at first it was going somewhere else. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ronnie David.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like
No, different Ronnie. Not different
Yeah.
Ronnie. That Ronnie.
we can either way.
Don't think. Don't invest too much in either Megan. Oh yeah. Fuck girls named Megan. There we go. That's
That is a rule that I live by.
That
You
is a
know,
rule.
you know how people like have those like positive posters like
Yeah.
by the bathroom.
fuck Megan.
Fuck Megans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
all. All.
I know we were saying when you say all, that's the one time.
Yeah. No absolutes. Wait. What about
Except for that absolute.
someone who is? Don't Megans suck though? Okay. Well, that's
well,
a given.
That's the given, obviously. That's the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, a lot. Yeah, that was a tough year then. 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was a tough year.
Man, I'm sorry. Okay, 6 years ago. What about that?
A little more fun.
Oh, that year. That's
That
different.
was a great year.
Trust Megans. Trust Ron. Like, is the complete opposite? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good to see that out of that tough year, it feels like you're still on the upswing.
Yeah, no, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that was fucking 5 years ago. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's good. You know,
It
you're
made
not
you strong.
like upset about it. You know. Yeah.
After a certain point, it's just like it doesn't matter to me. I don't
Yeah.
talk. I don't talk to Megan. I haven't seen Ronnie in forever. I don't wish ill on Ronnie anymore. Honestly, I
Sure.
was mad at him for a while.
Sure.
Because of what happened.
Yeah.
But I don't. It doesn't matter. It's ancient history.
Dude,
People make mistakes.
fuck you. That'll be your mistake. No, yeah, exactly. It's human nature. It's human nature to make mistakes.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it. You can't
People
get
are
mad at them.
selfish.
Can't get mad at them. What I like to hear, what I like to think of is we tend to judge others by their actions, but we judge ourselves through our intentions.
Yeah.
So you need to learn how to learn like what was their intention. You know, I don't think they were trying to hurt me. I don't think it was a personal attack. I know I took it as a personal attack, and maybe it was at the time. You know, sometimes people do kick you in the fucking face for no reason.
Yeah.
But you choose how to react to that, and
Yeah.
you made a good decision.
I did.
You want to say that story? That's
Sure,
a
I'll
crazy.
tell that
That's
story.
a good story.
That's a fun one.
Tradesies?
Straight C's. Yeah, sure. So this happened like 2 years ago or so.
Oh my god, I'll put the dartboard at the back of your head so it looks like we're aiming at your head. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, alright, go on.
So these girls that I knew at the time and I was hanging out with at the time invited me to go out to the park with them through the Shire. It was something the Shire was putting together. The Shire, if you don't know, is an organization in Modesto that helps out with local artists and bands, and they do different kind of get-togethers and stuff. So they were doing something after Zeta Park. so they were like, bring your guitar. We're doing different activities and shit. They had this like super cool rope tied between two trees, and you had to try and balance it.
Oh yeah, like
it's kind of fun.
it's on a zip line. What's it called?
Trapeze, I think, but really low. It was like 3 feet off the ground.
Slack line.
Yeah, sure.
That's it.
There we go.
It's called slack line.
That sounds more official.
It's called slack line.
Alright. Yeah, you're fine. So we hung out and we've been hanging out there for a couple of hours, and we left from that to go to another part of the park. And there was like this homeless dude that was kind of over there, and I was playing my guitar, playing Tanker Disco, was doing This Is Gospel, Tanker music.
Yeah.
And this dude, while I'm in the middle of doing it, just kind of like, he's like so twacked out. Just like not there at all.
How old is this guy?
I don't know, maybe like 30s, late 30s, somewhere around there, mid to late 30s. So he like, I don't know if anybody at home knows the song, but the chorus goes, and it was just, the timing of it is just hilarious. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
But the chorus is, if you love me, let me go. So I literally did, and I don't know if he just didn't like Panic at the Disco, or like he hated my rendition of it, but I'm literally the chorus doing, if you love me, let me, and all of a sudden just boom, I get roundhouse kick to the, just boom, laid the fuck out. And this girl I was hanging out with, Wonderful, is popped right the fuck up and got right in his face. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't do shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. And then I popped up, and he was like I'm not a short guy, so I popped up, and he was like right here.
That was a crotch shot. That was a good crotch shot.
Good crotch shot. Good. Sorry. So whatever. He's like right here to me, and then he looks up at me. He's like, oh. More or less.
Yeah,
it's like maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So I was mad. I was really mad. But I could tell, even in that time, that he still wasn't all there. Like he was like twacked out of his goddamn mind. He was on meth or whatever the fuck it was. So it's like, we need to get the fuck out of here, man. And he was like, well, can I have my back? He had his backpack that he dropped, I guess, when he roundhouse kicked me.
Oh my god.
So I just kind of threw it away and was like, get out of here.
I always hate that, how like an attacker, their first thing is to go to being the victim.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, whoa, you have my bag though. You have to give me my bag. Now you're the asshole.
Yeah, I'm the asshole.
And it's just like, all of a sudden, did you not just
fucking
sucker kick me?
Sucker kick me, yeah.
Got sucker kicked in the fucking face?
God damn it.
Like, and then he's like, oh, excuse me, can I get my bag? And he's like, oh no, I'm gonna set it on fire tonight. Like,
yeah. I'm gonna sacrifice it to the kung fu gods.
In fact, I'm gonna kick it over to you. Like, yeah! Like, it's like, I hope your laptop and puppy's in it. Okay, that's a joke, but still. Yeah,
but also
like,
a little.
Yeah, but maybe, if it was.
It would be the worst thing.
Probably annoying.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that was crazy.
And yeah, like, I asked you, but you know, just for the record, like, what, were you bleeding? Like,
no. Yeah, no, I wasn't bleeding. I was a little dazed because I just got kicked in the fucking face.
So did it knock you out?
No, it knocked me down.
Yeah, like on your back?
Like I was laid back.
Yeah.
I was laid out. But
Yeah.
I didn't pass out or anything.
Dude, that's the worst is when you like get sucker punched, because those that you don't see coming, that's the worst.
Yeah. I mean,
And
literally,
then,
I'm just chilling, fucking singing a song.
Dude, if it would have got you in the chin, or you know, in a sweet spot, right? Like that, you could have been out for a couple minutes, and then yeah, it's just way worse, you know.
Yeah. Thankfully it was okay.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm already getting offended for you. Like, you don't know how I look over here. You can't be acting like that in our society. We are a society.
Yeah. No, that was wonderful. She did all that shit.
Yeah. Wonderful was there.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember that Wonderful is her name.
Yeah.
Because you say, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was? When you got kicked in the fucking face. Like, and yeah, you didn't have any discord with this guy before.
No, didn't talk to him at all. We were just literally hanging out. He just kind of meandered his way over to us.
He just thinks that Twitter is real world, where you just like, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
like just treat people like shit.
Yeah.
And here it's anonymous.
Mad Max. Nothing matters at all.
Dude, it looks way cooler like this. Here.
Doesn't it kind of look cool though?
Oh, dang it. My man. No, yeah, I like the white light more than the tan light.
Oh, Kate, yeah, fuck that bitch. Yeah, that's right. She got the fuck the girl's name part. I don't know what she did to you, but I don't know.
Maybe it's a different Megan.
No,
Maybe
it's probably the same Megan.
You never know.
That's how I
I've heard,
know. Katie.
I've heard all the Megans. I've heard all the Megans are.
It's true. They're all awful.
Yeah, they're all awful.
I don't know. Honestly, though, I don't.
5 years from now, my wife's name's Megan, and she like someone plays this for her. Like, what was that you were saying? Like, if you replace awful with wonderful, makes a lot more sense, right?
Splice it with when we're talking about wonderful.
Yeah, when I'm editing it.
You'll be fine.
They're saying these nice things very aggressively. It's, I don't know why they're being so aggressive about it. Yeah, she's the fucking best. She's the fucking best.
Yeah.
Even edit the video so you see me like jar like a little bit. Oh fuck, dude. Okay, so 5 years ago, you were struggling. You know, 23.
Personally.
Everyone who doesn't,
Nobody likes you when you're 23. Though.
who doesn't struggle at 23?
Yeah.
You know, you're
Blink 182 had a ride. That's for sure.
right. Never heard of them.
They're kind of underground.
They're underground. Yeah, they're coming up.
Yeah.
Anything else? So you would have told it would have been more in the moment advice.
Yeah.
In the moment advice.
But in the moment advice, I feel like would have helped me out a lot.
That's good.
Because one of the main reasons that the band broke up is because of the money. Because this dude who was playing the guitar for us was like kind of screwing everybody else out. And
Yeah.
then he brought up a bunch of all this other shit and it kind of twisted the situation. And it kind of turned everybody against everybody.
I want, before we continue, I'm going to do it right now. I want to get out a safe word. Because I'm going to start, we're going to have sex on camera.
Oh!
No, we're going
Sorry,
to.
ever.
No, I don't know if I ask you a question that's going to be like, I just don't want that right now. You know? So you can just say, you can either say, I don't want to talk about that right now, or you can say, you're safe word.
Butterbeer.
Butterbeer. But what if I want butterbeer? I want
Not
some
right
more
now.
drink.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, butterbeer. So I'm now allowed to ask you, and you're allowed to ask me anything you fucking want.
Okay.
As deep, as crazy as it goes. And the moment we feel a little like, maybe this should be on camera. Like, you just go, butterbeer. You want that route, you know. So I want to ask you about the guitarist, this money stealing,
Oh.
like, butterbeer.
So,
But I obviously don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
I honestly probably don't really want to talk about it.
That's fine.
Not honestly, it's not on camera.
But you already missed your butterbeer chance.
So-
You just lost. So, but that's fine. There's other questions that we can go with. What I think is cool about the advice that you would have given yourself 5 years ago is not so much just, I mean, it's really cool that it's in the moment, but like, I feel like other people would kind of be more like, philosophical about it, right? I feel like that tells me you're like happy with where you are. You know?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're not, you wouldn't have told yourself like, stop being such a depressing piece of shit. Stop treating people like shit. Stop.
You're trying to say it, though.
The next 5 years is gonna be that was probably my lesson. If I was to say 5 years ago, John, I was not in a good place. I was a lot more. Not only was I depressed, but I didn't know it. I didn't know I was depressed, and so I was taking my emotions out on those around me. And it was really toxic for everyone involved. My family, friends.
I mean, I was too definitely. That's what the Bonnie Vegas there. Because that's where it stemmed from. That happened. That's when getting like
Oh, the relationship thing.
yeah, man. Okay, so I was with Megan, and then a lot of
You got butterbeer. You got butterbeer.
it's fine. It happened. I was with Megan, and then she and Ronnie were texting, to each other while we were together. Megan was also shooting on me. Other day was she on her set, so I didn't know, and I didn't see her like every day. I almost saw her.
You can't blame yourself. That's not your fault.
Yeah. So, and that's where a lot of my depression was in that situation. Right about that. Forward. I mean, I made some great music out of it. Definitely got that, if anything.
Good.
But, I was drinking every day. I
would buy 2 Miller High Life things that 32 ounces, and it was like $2.
Exactly. So that's why you get them.
Yeah, that's why you get them.
Yeah.
So I would get, every day I would get that and go over to Roland's house, and buy some jam, and stuff.
It's good when you got your buddy. Got your buddy to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely the beginning of my. I don't know if you remember, I was never a drinker. I never drank my entire life. Then yeah, then like you go through that stage, you're like, that's everything. Like I'm going crazy, and yeah,
Pretty much
dude.
what happened.
Oh yeah, it was. That was what I learned is that when you're at your lowest, that is when you really get those pivotal moments in your life. You learn who you are, you learn what's important to you, you learn like it's like you were really just all push, and it can break you or it can make you. I broke most of the time. Wait, white chocolate? Oh, white chocolate! I've been wanting to say hi to you. She had me on Facebook recently, and then I was like, "We're gonna chat," and I was like, "Get busy with life." But yeah, the other day I was, I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to name drop, so I apologize if I'm getting in trouble. But Ronnie was gonna say hi to Brooke, and I was gonna tell her, I was like, how do I say it? Because it's like it's weird when it's coming from someone else, I was like, okay, tell her Giancarlo says it's so white chocolate. Yeah, and I was like, that's not gonna work. He's gonna like read the text, stuff like chocolate, and she's like, what? Like, look like anyway. I remember back when she was back in high school I was like in Michigan, I don't remember exactly what. I think I was like watching something at the time, like, this is my chocolate. And I was like, you're right, it's my chocolate. Yeah.
Issue left.
Well, it's important.
It's good. I don't know. So yeah, Trump has COVID. So that's the thing that happened.
Before you go there,
Sorry.
I don't mind talking about it, but I've also had another comment of I should try to keep the podcast straight.
Okay.
That way we don't jump everywhere.
Okay.
That way when I'm timestamping and editing, I can try to keep it together. And I want to finish your 5 and 5.
Okay.
Because we were on my 5.
All right,
my
my
5. No, you're fine, dude. This is it. This is the interaction.
Catch up.
Oh, good. Thank you. I can't wait. Yeah, hit me up. Text me, something. You gotta be on the podcast. That'd be cool. Okay, moving on. Yeah, my 5 years ago, 22. Actually, honestly, I don't know what I was doing at 22. Right after alcohol, 21. So yeah, I think I was about to move to Washington. And if I could tell myself anything, it's like the first thing that comes to mind is this is what I always say about what happened to me was I was young, dumb, and I fell in love.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is that it's better to have loved than lost than never to have loved at all.
Yeah, no.
So I don't think I would tell myself, don't do it. I think I would tell myself to still do it. It was an experience worth having, and we learned a lot. But don't get as invested.
Yeah.
Learn how to be reserved, and not that you can't get committed, but you can still hold true to yourself rather than like focusing on others. Kind of like when you see like an artist listen to the audience too much, and it's like, dude, we liked you because you were playing more music. Go back to playing more music, and then the audience will come back. And I feel like it was the same with like that's what I learned about myself. It's like people didn't like me because of my surroundings is me. So I gotta focus on me rather than my surroundings. You know, that sounds a little selfish, but that is essentially what I would try to tell myself is more selfish. And there's that fine line between selfish and self-care. So essentially, I'd say self-care instead. But I think I would try to tell
Selfish works though.
myself. But you would respond better to selfish.
I would respond better to selfish, probably.
Yeah, I would be like self-care. Man, I take showers. Like
Yeah,
I eat
I wear
well.
deodorant.
Yeah, exactly. I take care of myself. Like no, just be selfish.
A little bit more selfish.
Yeah,
That you feel like sometimes you try to take care of other people more.
Yeah.
So,
it's easy to drown out your problems by taking care of other people's problems. And really, it's like just take care of your own problems.
yourself.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, and that's what I found interesting different between your 5 years and my 5 years, is that yours was more in the moment, don't do this, you should do that. Mine, I think, was a little more,
I feel like I would be in a touring national band right now if I had done that.
so are you saying you would be on the podcast? You could be on the podcast?
I can still be on your podcast.
Oh, it's easy to say that now. I'll hold you to it. 1, 2, 3, can't now. It's your fame. No offense, dude. Your fame means nothing. I would want to have you on here no matter what.
Yeah. I don't want to be famous.
I mean,
It's not about that.
I like fame, but I think it's the same like as when you move to New York. You only want it for that long, The moment you get bored of it, you're like, I don't want fame anymore. But that's the dangerous side of fame is that you don't choose when it hits you and when it goes away. So sometimes you get stuck.
It's just like everyone all the time, always being all in the shit. That will get old, I feel like.
Isn't that what we're doing today? Isn't that what everything is? Don't people message you all the time? People fucking
Yeah, but not like some random dude at Starbucks that I don't know. It's
Yeah.
people that I know. I don't mind that at all. People that I don't at all, constantly, continually, every time I want to go outside. And then you can't go outside looking like shit, otherwise it's going to be all over the tabloids.
yeah.
Like everything you do is so scrutinized.
Yeah, you have a magnifying glass on you hardcore.
Constant.
Yeah, no
I just
doubt.
feel like that would get old, and that can't be healthy. That can't be healthy.
No, I agree. And that's why you see child stars never develop properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have a different magnifying glass on them. When you're not allowed to make mistakes,
It's that thing whenever you get
Yeah,
famous, that's how old you are for the rest of your life. Whenever it is you get famous.
yeah. For the ones that like can't break free. For the ones that get caught in the trap, yeah, that's their psyche never develops. That's all they need is
They don't have to.
they don't have. They're already what we consider successful.
You're like, well, I'm fine, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know something you don't, I guess. I'm doing better than you are.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like,
like almost everyone.
yeah, and it's like, well, that's one way of measuring it, but you look pretty arrogant during.
Yeah.
So 5 years in the future. So where would you well, no. The question specifically is, so I asked you 5 years ago, what would today's self say to 5 years ago? What do you think in 5 years you'll be judging yourself about today?
Practicing more. You should practice more because I do. I'm practicing that skill. Just in general. Music. I could always do better. I can always do better. I'm just
How often do you practice?
every day.
I don't practice enough. I need to practice more.
I do need to
You
practice.
might need to practice less.
No, I
Sometimes,
don't think
sometimes
so.
walking away and getting that creative juices flowing again.
No, it's not about that. I mean, every day doesn't mean like for an hour. I do practice every day. But sometimes, most often it's like maybe 10 minutes.
No, I totally agree. I'm just like, you gotta pump it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And especially to get to the level that I really want to get to, I have to do it for at least a solid hour every day.
At least,
For a while.
at least.
Usually more, closer to 3.
Because you're talking about art. You're talking about art. And when it comes to art, there's.
It's hard, especially such a demanding instrument. Like if you fuck up, it's very obvious. If you're playing in the wrong key on a note, everyone can tell you who don't know anything about music.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's a fucking critic.
Everyone's a fucking critic.
I mean, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, like guitar, music, and all that. But even just on the 4 podcasts that I've done, everyone's a critic.
Everyone's a critic. Telling you
Now-
everything you did wrong.
Now, with that being said, a lot of them, I haven't had a mean critic. Everyone's been really nice and really helpful, you know. But I literally have had to ask people like, can you just tell me what you enjoyed though? Like, can you tell me one good
Yeah,
thing?
right?
Yeah, it's like, did you hear the rest of the fucking song?
Yeah.
I know there was a couple twangs, but like, what was the rest of the fucking song you heard? And like
That part where you're like, ugh.
yeah, that part where you were getting
you want to tell me
you didn't give me
about that?
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucking welcome, you know? And so it's just like,
But
oh, well,
we're like everybody.
but that's
was singing.
expected. That's
Yeah.
to be assumed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, well, and that's how you learn, like, you're doing a really good job. As they say, when you do a good job, no one will know you were there. You know, because it's like you're fulfilling the role that everyone feels that you need to fulfill.
Yeah. They only say something. Yeah.
I had to write down a note. It might be one of these. I'm not kidding. To remind myself, because it started getting me down a little bit. But they're not correcting you because it's bad. They're correcting you because they think it could be better. Yeah. Sure. And yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not bad. It's just like, you can go. So they believe in you. So it's a pick me up.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, but the way they present it is not a pick me up.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it.
So,
Yeah.
so 5 years, 5 years future Jake is gonna tell current Jake, hey, you still gotta start, you still gotta practice.
Gotta practice more. I should have invested in whatever the next big company is, next Tesla.
Oh, you'll give yourself some little
Yeah,
insider
I would hope so.
secrets.
I would hope so. That's what I should have said to myself 5 years ago. I should have said to buy Tesla stuff.
Yeah.
Because that will.
Who?
Yeah, right.
What? What are you talking about?
What is that?
Tesla and Zoom.
Another underground company.
No, we never heard of them.
Never heard of
They're
them.
next to Blink.
Yeah,
They're,
right.
they're buddies.
They hang out with Tom Wall like that.
I think, no, not Blink-182. Joe Rogan's related to one of the people in My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, Gerard Way.
Cool. I guess this is
That's the singer.
common knowledge.
Yeah, the singer.
So, fuck me, right?
I only know that because I also listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I hate Joe, but I love Joe.
I do too. That's
Joe-
exactly how I feel. Because every once in a while there's an episode where I'm like, Joe, you just okay. But then there's also all these other ones that are like pretty interesting, usually they're pretty funny.
Listen to, who would you say is one of your favorite, I'm going to say reoccurring people? Not just one of your favorite episodes, but reoccurring, like people who has like, or maybe you don't have one yet.
Not really.
So then what's one of your favorite episodes? Like who was?
Easily, we're gonna go to a whole rabbit hole with this, but Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, and I don't remember the name of the other gentleman who interviewed Bob Lazar. Because I did not know anything about that guy until then. That's
Joe
actually-
Rogan didn't interview?
No, Joe Rogan interviewed him.
But then
So originally, back in the 80s, Bob Lazar was interviewed by this guy who worked for a network news station, and he was on the podcast with him because he's now in UFOs. For anybody who's watching who don't know who Bob Lazar is, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea.
I don't. I've heard the
And
name.
it was like, this is like quarantine was weird for me. Now I like believe in aliens. And I know that sounds crazy.
To an extent,
That's what he
not
said, it's
crazy.
crazy. And I know that it sounds crazy. And if I had talked to myself a year ago, I would have thought I was fucking nuts.
Motherfucker, that's
But-
next!
But sorry, bro. But yeah, Bob Lazar, man. So Bob Lazar was he is a guy who in the 80s he went on television and basically said that he was hired by the government to retro engineer what he described as an antimatter that was found in a UFO that the government had at a part of Area 51, which we now know is real. The he worked for, he knew about back in the 80s, that nobody knew what Area 51 is. He is why everyone knows what Area 51 is. Everybody thinks there's UFOs and aliens there and all kinds of this guy. So he was a rocket engineer who worked in the public sector. And there's this news article about him where he had a rocket car. He had a sports car, I forget what the brand is. I want to say it's a Corvette. That he put a rocket engine in the backup and it worked.
Nice.
So he could go like ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
Like, not strictly
Like fucking
fast. Yeah, basically, yeah. And listening to this guy, he doesn't sound crazy. He reminded me a lot of Bill Gates, honestly. He's a nerdy white dude. He hasn't made any money off of any of this stuff. Any of the money he has gotten from the documentary that came out on Netflix, which is terrible, but worth watching because of the interviews with him. That's fine. And we're talking about aliens. Then we're into culture. So he what happened to this crazy? So the beginning of the documentary, the first 5-10 minutes, basically just him texting with the director, which is super annoying. But the very beginning is him being raided by the FBI, or at least you see in the documentary these dudes that are wearing FBI coats. I don't know if it's real. Obviously, I don't know for sure that
This is what you
anything
saw.
that he says it's real.
Yeah,
What you
yeah.
see in the documentary is these dudes that are in, but the FBI in the back, going through his stuff. And he says that this happens to him 2 or 3 times a year. And it's never the same organization twice. It's been Homeland Security, it's been FEMA, it's been the police, it's been the FBI, it's been the NSA, it's been the CIA, it's been whatever, the Department of Energy, because he said that he took something from his face, and he still has it. And he thinks that they're trying to find it. I don't know what it is. He never said what it was. Whatever. So what happens to him is crazy. That's what to me makes it seem more legitimate. So he doesn't have a social security number anymore. He was completely deleted. The place where he used to work.
Okay.
Yeah, look it up, man. Please.
But what I'm saying is like, no, I'm gonna look it up because I'm gonna edit it. But right now, I'm gonna pull up some things that I'm gonna want to like. I'm gonna refute you,
Okay.
but I'm not arguing. It's the devil's advocate.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, he could pull shit out of that, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna, yeah.
Obviously. So, the place that he worked at, where he was a rocket engineer, said that he didn't work there, but there's that thing in the paper that they did on him, because he was driving around with the rocket car, and it says in the clip, in that news clipping, that he worked there. Someone who used to work at that place came to the guy who first interviewed him back in the 80s, when he first got about this. He was an employee handbook, telephone book, which used to be a thing because we didn't have social media or anything. And he was in it with his phone number, his address, his name. So it's so crazy. And he says that he's as, I feel like, as much of the devil's advocate as he could be. He's just trying to, I feel like, inform people that it happened because what he said is people started to follow him after he quit. And when he says he took something from the base, so he went public to try as a way to try and protect himself. Because if they killed him or did something, well, everybody would know, obviously, what he's talking about is true and right and accurate.
They haven't tried to kill him.
They haven't. They haven't tried to kill him.
To me, that tells me he's not a threat.
Maybe. Or, like I said, they're trying to not solidify his testimony. Because if he went public and then they killed him, that would kind of be like, well, obviously what he's saying must be true.
It would definitely raise more eyebrows,
Yeah.
but the hard part becomes like in today's the era of misinformation.
Sure.
And so when you are providing any information, whether it's good or bad, the moment, actually no, when it's good information, the moment it's good information, if you can stop that, that's what people want to do. Nobody wants you to be intelligent. Like that. That's yeah, exactly. They want you to be manageable. You know. So, in my opinion, they feel like this is manageable.
Sure.
You know, it's like
Because nobody wants to believe in aliens. First of all, you can talk to anybody about aliens, and you didn't immediately assume
ask
it's
me my
crazy.
opinion on aliens.
What do you think about aliens?
They're real, 100%.
But do you think that they come to Earth?
Do I think that they come to Earth like right now?
Yeah, right now.
No.
You think that happens?
I do not think that happens.
Right. And if somebody came to you and said aliens are coming to the Earth, and the government has information about it, and it's lying to everyone about it, what would you immediately think?
I want more.
I need to go check, please. I need to fuck out of here.
No, I want more proof. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't judge people like that. It's
Yeah.
like
I feel like
you
most
need
people-
to give me more information
Sure.
before I do.
Right.
You know?
Most people, though, I do kind of see immediately crazy.
Yeah, but it's like we were talking earlier about like certain people. You bring up certain topics, and they shut down. And it's like, listen, you need to learn how to have a conversation.
Yeah.
This might not be
That's
about.
true. I feel you are more, or probably more open-minded than the average person.
I kind of have my own podcast. I kind of like talking to people.
Yeah.
and that's the thing is that like, let's say you're wrong. You're allowed to be wrong.
Yeah, of course.
You're allowed to make mistakes. 5 years
I'm
from
not.
now, 5 years. Yeah, I'm not saying you are or wrong. I'm not saying you
But
are.
there's
or
other things too so like the thing that powers this supposed engine is chemical something. I forget what it's called. But scientists have since he talked about this found it naturally. Okay. So it does exist. They're not able to harness it in the way that he described that would be able to allow you to manipulate gravity, which is what he said he does. He said there was like they had UFOs too, flying saucers, like what you think of, like a gray thing, and inside of the saucer, it was completely empty, except it would be like this, except there was a thing much similar to the picture we have here, it was circular, and there were 4 chairs around the thing. They're all super short, very small, like for somebody that's maybe 3 feet or 4 feet tall at most. And the engine was on top of the platform, and that was the only thing that was in. He didn't say. He said at first that he thought he maybe saw one of these things, maybe since
like an
then.
alien. Or
Yeah, an alien.
An alien or the UFO?
An alien. No, he still says he saw the UFO.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you meant like since then he saw another one.
No.
Or
Well, he has
saw one alien.
since come down back off whether or not he saw an alien. What he says he saw is he was walking through the office and he looked through a window and thought he saw a small body that could have maybe been an alien. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, and since then he's like, I don't know what the fuck that was, basically. But that's what he said in the first interview, when he was trying to get all this information and be like, kind of out there.
But can't you say that about literally anything and everything all the time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I could have maybe seen something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I've seen UFOs, and he's spoken publicly about it maybe 2 or 3 times. The story's the same every single time. Somebody showed him a picture of something that has recently been declassified as something that the government did have back in the 80s. So they had this thing that would scan your hand, and it would measure your bones, the length of your fingers, because everybody is different. It's like a thumbprint or a fingerprint. Like everybody, the length of each bone is individual to you. And he got shown this picture. I don't know. It's in the documentary. I don't know what year it is. He saw it. He like, oh my god, I haven't seen that thing in forever. Like it didn't seem staged or like
I'm missing.
it seemed
I'm
like
missing.
natural.
I believe you, but I'm missing your point.
So just to me, it's evidence possibly that he did work at this facility where they had these things, and that has since been declassified that facility had those things. That's my point.
So, did he work there? Okay, mind you, never done any research. We don't know what we're talking about.
Sure.
You know, so I'm only refuting what I've heard. You know, did he work there?
And that's, I feel like, the most important part. Or is it just crazy person?
I feel like regardless if you work there or not, it doesn't mean that you can't be crazy.
Well, yeah, of course. No, obviously. Yeah.
So I
Crazy people.
don't think that gives him enough validation.
The Secretary of Defense of Canada said that there is a species of aliens that is within the U.S. government and controls the U.S. government. I'm not record saying. So I'm not. I agree with you. There are crazy people everywhere. It doesn't matter what job.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the way we think we should measure success is that if anything proven not the right way to measure success. And so these people who we follow because we think they're successful don't know what they're talking about.
So you said, or don't think that aliens UFOs are currently visiting Earth. So you saw that video that the Navy released earlier this year? So earlier this year, U.S. Navy, it was originally leaked.
Wait, is it the one dot that just goes like to the left and right a little bit?
It kind of, it's hanging in the air and it turns.
And then it goes down, up, down, left, and right.
The whole, and then it just kicks up.
Yeah.
So
I heard about that.
okay, so this is something the U.S. Navy released. Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 originally released it on Instagram last year. But it's something that they said and acknowledged that it's a UFO, no government is claiming responsibility for it. That guy went on Joe Rogan, the guy who was the pilot of the plane captured the footage.
Yeah.
So what wasn't on the footage is that it went from 6,000 feet to 1 foot off the sea in a second.
Yeah.
And they think it was probably faster than that. They don't know how fast it did that because it was just a blip in the radar. It was just, now it's down there.
This is the interesting thing.
It didn't have any kind of engine. There's no heat signature moving off of it. It's basically exactly
I feel like you're trying to convince
similar
me, but I already know.
to the Tom DeLonge thing. I'm just talking about it. I think it's worth talking about. I don't know whether it's
So that's what I'm saying. Is that like, well, I hear your point, and now I lost mine because, but let me see.
it's crazy. Crazy. Government says it's alien.
And I'm not against that. Here's where I was going to go. Is that I think we're saying the same thing, but with different words. I plan for that. You want me to get my charger?
That's fine. What are you doing? These are recorded.
Yeah. And plus, I felt like I was almost like referring to it too much. I mean, not too much, but like.
Yeah.
And if anything, I was kind of jealous. I was like, man, you have such a simple setup. Like, I should have been doing something. But this will evolve in time.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed. I am not stressed. Anyway, I think we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it in different ways. So it sounds like we disagree, but we don't disagree. I think our definitions of what things are just a little different, you know?
Okay.
Kind of like when someone says, like, I believe in God. Oh, I believe in God. You're not always talking about the same God, you know?
Sure.
It's like, well, they're saying things completely different, even though they think they're saying the same thing. Because here's the thing is that I believe 1,000,000,000% that we are not alone. Billion, it's almost, but it depends on how big of a scale you want to look at. You know, if you go to as big of a scale as you can get, you're stupid if you think alone.
Obviously. Just from the known universe, you pay attention to the Hubble telescope, there's anywhere from 250 to 500 million galaxies in the known universe. There's billions of planets and stars in every single galaxy. How in the fuck could there not be another civilization somewhere?
It's stupid to think that. Yeah. It's stupid to think that there can't be other life. If you're
We've already found it.
actually, I apologize. I shouldn't. I apologize. I wouldn't say it's stupid because I'm not trying to judge.
And it's ignorant.
But yeah, it's a huge oversight.
Yeah.
In simple math.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, I don't think you're dumb, but I think you need to relearn something.
Yeah.
I think you're teachable.
Reinvent.
Because dumb essentially says like you can't. There's nothing you can't learn it. It's just that you learn something else. Anyway, now, do you believe in parallel universe?
Yeah, of course.
How much? How bad? Like 100%? Like,
I mean, I'm
maybe,
like,
I don't know.
like 90% there's an alternative.
So you believe like infinite universes, like
Yeah.
Morty almost?
Yeah, no, exactly.
So when you take these, so if you think of parallel universes as a separate dimension,
Yeah.
you understand like how big the world is. We're living in the third dimension, but there's a bigger dimension than that that has
4 and 5, 6. So you say there's theoretically 90. But that's just with our, what we can think of with our monkey brains. We don't really know, honestly. We're basing it off of like this much of the universe. There's like, so according to the standard model of physics, we can explain somewhere between around 70% of the universe. And then there's 30% of space matter, whatever the universe, that what is they call dark matter, dark energy. Basically, that just means they don't know what the fuck that is, but it has to exist for everything else to make sense. It doesn't mean it's that way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even mean that it's that percentage.
Yeah.
Because there's just so, in my view, so little of the universe that we truly do have a firm grasp of or understand. That like, that's why I mean, if you look into chaos theory, there's a strong probability that all of this is just a fucking computer simulation anyway. So what is it like that?
So when you look at the parallel universe, and if you look at them as a dimension, which mathematically there's currently 11, but you can prove hundreds of thousands of them. It's not hard to do that. You can see time as like a liquid. And so imagine the surface of where water becomes air, and you have that surface tension, right? Imagine infinite surface tension.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we're talking about when we talk about time and parallel universe, that cross dimension, that's what we're living through, or infinite surface tension. If you throw a rock in a pool, what does it do?
So that
Causes a ripple effect. There are things that are beyond our comprehension that are in dimensions that we cannot comprehend, that can affect our reality, our universe. That doesn't make them what we classify as UFOs. Because what is a UFO? Unidentified. So it can literally be anything.
Yeah.
But when people say UFOs, they're talking about aliens.
Right.
So yes, it's a UFO. No, it doesn't make it an alien. I'm not saying for sure and every time, but what I'm saying is where I come from is 1 and 1. No, that's not a good way to put it. Correlation doesn't equal causation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you see, like, hey, I see.
So you're saying it could be something that lives here then?
No.
Secretly. Because those are the only
Not
two
saying that at
options.
all. Not saying that at all. I'm saying that when you see an object that moves from point A to point B in a second, and you go, that's a UFO, you've made a huge fucking leap, and you just discredited the rest of the entire galaxy, universe, parallel universes. Sure. And you think you know it's an alien, but when it could literally be an astral pebble that is beyond your comprehension. Sure. The same
But
way
the video
a
is
shadow.
what I'm specifically talking about. That you gotta watch the video, and you should probably listen to that podcast. It's fascinating. Listen to that guy talk.
Yeah.
6,000 feet to 1 foot off the sea in a second.
I believe you.
That's like
I believe
that. We don't have.
Does that make it an alien?
I don't know what it is.
But that's what I'm saying.
But what could it? I mean, maybe
No.
maybe it's
That's
a
not what the
computer.
conversation is.
Maybe, yeah. I think it comes from an alien civilization. It may not have actual living
It could.
beings inside of it.
It could.
So the only 2 possibilities.
Not only 2. You can't say only 2.
It's either an alien or it's something that comes from here. So is it from Earth or is it not? What other possibility could it be? Even if it's
Like I said,
from a
things-
different simple, even if it's from another spatial dimension.
Yeah, beyond your comprehension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that would.
But
mean
you're
it's
saying,
alien.
but it's not from here.
Right. So then it's technically an alien.
When we, just to make sure we're on the same page, when you say alien, are you saying life form?
Life form that's not from Earth.
I'm not saying life form. I'm saying it is a foreign body.
Okay.
It is a foreign thing.
Okay.
The same way, like, you can get an infection, and that is a living thing that is killing you. And you can also sever your arm, and that's not a living thing, but it's still killing you. You know? So it's like, I believe there is that thing that went that way. I don't know if that makes it an alien.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
It's like that could have been an alien blaster ray, and we see it go this way, and we don't comprehend. We don't know what we're looking at, so we go, I think that was a spaceship. You know, and it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of other things, right?
Sure.
And that's where I'm at. Is that it's like, until I see a fucking alien or a fucking space, like I want. So how does science work today? Peer review.
Sure.
You have to be able to have a scientific theory and allow me to yeah. And you want me to test that theory for
Yeah. Well, it's hypothesis. Right. Exactly. Comes a theory through.
once
It's
it's tested.
after it's tested like a bunch of times.
The reason that
Anyway.
yeah. So
This is small detail.
those details, you get it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Is that it's like I agree that happened, right? And that's why I say we're saying the same thing.
Sure.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I just don't think I agree with the full process.
Okay.
The conclusion.
Yeah.
You know, the same way, and I'll end it on. I mean, like my part, like you know, is the guy that worked there at the Lazarus. Bob Lazar.
I call him Lazarus.
I know, right? It
I don't know
comes
why.
out. Lazar, it's like he wants to prove that he worked there, but that's not enough for me. That doesn't mean okay. That means he knows everything. There's probably plenty of people that work there that don't know shit, you know. So it's like okay, maybe he was just on call, or maybe he did work there, but he wasn't on that security clearance, or maybe he worked there and he did know it all. I'm not saying, but it's like I need a lot more before I get to that, like, I think that needs it. Because I swear to God, 9 times out of 10, people who are afraid of aliens, it's their own shadow.
Well, yeah, of course.
But I'm talking more in the past before we had cameras and shit. But you remember how many more Bigfoot sightings and Loch Ness Monster sightings and alien sightings there were before everyone had a camera in their pocket? And now it's like, all of a sudden that started going down. All of a sudden, all those sightings
Well,
are.
they didn't actually. The UFOs, they started going up after World War II. Reported ones. Because people have been reporting about UFOs and shit for fucking ever.
Do we have
one of the,
smartphones at that time?
no, but we have papers.
No, I was referring to smartphones.
Yeah, no, of course we have.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, since we've had smartphones, is there an incline or a decline?
Probably at the same. I don't know exactly. What I know is since World War II and the first explosions of the atomic bomb, there have been more reports than there were. So there were more reportings in the 21st century than in the 20th century. I think it's possible that what I've researched into this and there's other things too that cause me to think that there are aliens or something that comes to visit us pretty regularly. I'd imagine. More often than not, to study the Earth and the different things that we do. But just raises should happen because people like people find decapitated cows, cattle, and different kind of animals in the middle of the field. And there's like little animal tracks around it, and it's been sometimes there's no blood inside of the thing.
Remember crop sign?
Crop circles.
Yeah.
That's definitely another super weird thing. Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Without any kind of tire tracks or anything leading from the thing in the middle of the desert or somebody's cornfield, and they've been going on for a while. It's just like at this certain time, like all those things lining up to me kind of all point to know it's a fantastical thing, and the ramifications of it are far-reaching and kind of terrifying. But what I'm kind of thinking happening is my hypothesis, it's all it's a hypothesis, is that we are an experiment from an alien civilization that came in here and visited here very long ago. You want to call them God, fucking fine. But they injected their DNA into the most intelligent species at the time they found, which was like apes, that were like starting to become tribal, and they shocked them with a little bit of the DNA. Maybe they got drunk and fucked it like Randy did.
Yeah.
South Park.
Yeah.
And took off. And when we set off news, maybe that set off some kind of bell, like, oh, what the fuck did they do now? So they start coming back and seeing how we're progressing and the different things we do, and the different animals and creatures that also live here that could have been affected by the radiation that's in the air. And all the, I don't know. That's just my, who knows?
I don't mind that you have that. That's like it's fine. I'm not like what is that? You know?
Okay. Makes no sense to me, I think. Because, I mean, I know evolution is a thing, and I do agree that obviously it happens. I mean, that, classical science is, yeah, obviously. So natural selection occurs and change happens.
But see, that's
jump,
testable.
yeah, but a jump like from a monkey to us is pretty fucking big. Like,
Well, it didn't go.
we are, yeah, right, but yeah, from hominid to all those, that, I mean, it's a big leap, is all I'm saying. All of a sudden, we started building houses and making towns, and there's no other species that does anything even relatively close to that.
So people like to think that like it went like monkeys and then like
Yeah, no, I know there's thousands of different species that they think.
no. We're not related to monkeys in that way. People think that we're direct descendants of monkeys. No, not even close. We are related to them through an ancestor tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not direct descendants. We are a different species.
Right.
So we're not monkeys. It's not there was not a crazy leap from monkeys to humans. There was a different leap before that created that branch of trees, and then from that monkeys went. Here's the theory. Here's the theory. Have you heard of the warm water ape theory?
No.
There's three monkeys. Okay, one of them went in the trees, one of them went in the water, one of them went in the land. Do you think you can name all three monkeys? One of them are monkeys, one of them are humans, and one of them are dolphins. All three share the exact same circulatory system as humans. All three have emotions and a pleasure seeking. All three have the same life cycle and near lifespan. All three, it's like they're insanely fucking similar.
Sure.
And they're evolving around the same time, but because we chose to go on land, we got a different experience.
It's the runner theory. I believe that. So we developed much more intense brains because they will run. They had to run to be able to get away, and to be able to run for a long period of time, you have to have a very active brain because you have to be able to breathe and transfer oxygen into your blood, all your muscle movement and everything, and that could possibly ramp up how cognitive processing happens. It's possible. That could have happened too. I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah, those like what the step was
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing.
that led to the level of
And all this other crazy shit's happening.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying is that like when people try to say it was one thing, it's like when has it ever been one thing?
Right.
In anything
Never.
in history, it was always this supported this, which allowed for that because of this,
Yeah.
and it's. Have you ever seen when like four people lay down on each other and they create like a table?
No, I've not seen that.
You have four people like standing like in a square essentially,
Okay.
and then one person leans back on the other person's lap, and the other person leans back on the lap, leans back on the lap, and then so they're all laying on each other's laps, and so they're standing up, but they make a table. So like they shouldn't be standing, but they're self-supporting each other. You know?
Okay.
So that's the thing is that people like to say, "Look, it's a table," and it's like, no, it's 4 different people self-supporting the table. No, it's a table.
Gotcha.
No, there's more than just one focal point. You know? So yeah, it's like obviously people like to bring up the most common theory right now, which is the mushroom. That's what changed. That's what was the main change for humans, from apes to humans.
Oh, what? We did DMT?
Yeah, we did drugs. It literally expanded our mind.
That could happen. That could be it too.
And then when you do drugs and you're pregnant, it affects the baby. So they assume. Have you ever noticed how essentially our heads are retarded? And that's not the right word for it, but I'm an asshole. A retardation means that there was a gene fucked up during your birth, during your gestation period in the womb. The genetic decode that fucked up, they assumed was through psilocybin, through mushrooms, while someone was pregnant, forced the baby to have a bigger head. That is why babies can no longer gestate in the womb the whole time. They only get to stay in there 9 months, and they have to come out early and then continue to grow outside because our brains are too big. Other animals are not as big. Their brains aren't as big. They literally have walnut brains, and that only allows them to be so smart. They do not have the capacity, at least to our understanding, they do not have the capacity to our level of understanding. If they essentially
It looks that way. There's nobody else. They're not making houses.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it fucking adds up.
Yeah.
Consciousness, brain, babies, evolution is real, and you can test that shit.
Yeah.
And that's why the difference between the fear, the main thing is like when you can defend your subject well, that means you know every part about it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like about conspiracy theories, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, I'm just calling it that for simplicity. Is that I feel a lot of times when you debate it, they go back to the same point. You know, it's not self standing, you know, it doesn't hold itself up. The moment you poke a hole in it, the whole thing falls down. And so it's like, okay, so then that's not a real theory. That doesn't hold water, you know. So yeah, I do believe in aliens, but
The government obviously has something. Because they said in April that they have plant vehicles from another world.
because the government doesn't lie. That's what we also know. That's the one thing we should know. The government has never lied about anything, and yeah, that's fact.
Yeah, but why would they lie about this?
Why would they lie about that? Don't you shouldn't look at it like that. That's like saying like oh well that's wrong, so then that makes this okay. It's like two wrongs don't make a right. You know, just because they lie doesn't mean it's okay to believe in it. Like that's the one thing. If any government has proven anything to me, is that none of them are trustworthy. You name one that is.
No, every politician lies. Always.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about like other forms. Not like ours is obviously corrupt. Look where we are.
Yeah.
Now we got to the time.
Yeah.
Look, we are right now. Where we are right now is fucking horrible.
Yeah,
We're in a movie. Feels like we're in a movie.
I feel like I'm in 4 movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally
That's
agree.
what it feels like.
But this is not all around the world. This is just our country. Other countries are laughing at us first. They're like, oh my God, that's what it is. And you know what the worst thing is? What's the most spoken language? English. We are the one people that everyone's looking at, that everyone can fucking understand. And yet our president can't speak. He can't speak a sentence.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have foreign people who don't know English and go, I can speak better than this guy. It's like that bugs me personally. I don't even if you get into politics or not. That's just one of those like, like regardless of all the other bullshit,
Yeah.
you had Obama, and he was the
He's a
represent.
good speaker.
He was a representation of the United States, and a good representation of the United States.
Sure.
You have Trump, and now he's the representation of the United States.
Right.
And the worst part is, he's a good representation. That's the painful part.
Much better than Obama. I feel like a lot of the things Obama talked about was great, but a lot of things he actually did, not so much. He kind of murdered thousands of children with drone strikes, and then refused to accept that responsibility by changing the definition of what a civilian was to non-armed, non-militant combatants. So that way they weren't killing civilians, they were killing non-militant combatants. Fucking 1984 bullshit. Donald Trump's not smart enough to pull off shit like that. Unfortunately, everybody else. I'm not saying I like Donald Trump.
No, and I
Good
wouldn't
God.
say that statement either.
Good God,
No,
no. He's a
no.
moron. He botched COVID so bad, and he even knew, he's on the record now as having said that he knew how bad it was. Person in the flu, very easy to spread. He has it. He's like getting the retribution, I think, fully of what did. He also publicly said it was a Democratic hoax and refused to wear masks for fucking months because he said he didn't want to create a panic. But by doing that, by trying to subvert that, he created a huge unnecessary situation. If he had come out and made a national mandate for masks, we would not be in the situation we are right now. If like you walked around without a mask on and a police officer came up to you, we're fine, you start wearing masks. Yeah. Everyone will, because who the fuck wants to pay the government money? Nobody wants to have to do that.
Yeah.
So if he did something like that, it's like New Zealand is a great example. They don't have any cases. Yeah. They're completely reopened. Their economy is fine.
Did you see the statistic of women governors versus?
Yeah. For how well they respond to COVID.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't take that proactive, if you don't take that proactive action, then you're left with the other side.
Yeah.
And it's always
Right now.
the thing is that Trump never in his entire lifetime has ever been about prolonged gratification.
Yeah, no.
He's always been about immediate gratification.
Yeah.
And that is why a lot of mistakes have been made, and people think successes, but no.
The success, they talk about the economy because we the Fed manipulating interest rates and it has to do with what the president. If the president has no power really to help the economy. He doesn't do anything. All he is a figurehead. It's literally the Constitution.
You think the economy is controlled?
Not right now, but it was. We had the longest continued economic expansion in the history of the country. 2-3 years, basically, where our economy was always growing with no recession. The GDP was above 4%. It's never happened for almost 3 years, basically. That's because the Fed kept lowering interest rates for lending money, so people would continue to buy houses. So when you do that, that creates jobs for people, right? You need somebody to build it, you need somebody to maintain it, you need somebody who's going to run all the plumbing, all the electricity, all that, all a bunch of different things happen surrounding it. And you want new floors, you want new cabinets when you move into a home, and you want to have a nice big old TV. So I feel like that has way more to do with the continued economic expansion than fucking Trump ever did. Just like saying big, because that's to me his contribution to the economy.
What's one smart thing you've ever heard Trump say?
When he shut down,
No, not do, what he said.
said?
Yeah. His words specifically.
I don't know. I can't think of any intelligent eloquent that he said.
Yeah,
there's things he's done that are smart.
There's a reason, it's because he's not a smart guy.
Yeah.
People, what do they say? Behind any successful man is a angry woman or something like that. But I don't remember the full quote, but or unappreciated woman, something like that. But the point of that is that it's easy to see the face, but you never see the work behind. Who's actually pulling the fucking strings? If anyone here, I'm not here, I'm not, but if anyone in America essentially thinks that Trump is the one pulling the strings. It's like, that guy's a fucking moron. He's not the puppeteer, he's the puppet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so it's like, if you think like, oh, well, when he did this, it'd be like, if you're looking at a puppet, like when the puppet did that, okay, well, the puppet didn't do that. Well, it happened, but the puppet didn't do that. Like, it's not real. You know, this is a show.
Yeah.
But I
It's
don't,
all facade, right?
dude, more so than you might know, because when I went to Mexico and I learned about their politics and I watched their debates and
Rough down
way better, way better.
there. Is the cartel on the government? Like a huge chunk of the government?
No, it's more like a fight between the cartel and the government. It's more like the cartel has that side, government has that side. You don't, it's like terrorists here. Yeah, it's like the way the government funds terrorism with drugs and all that. It's like, oh well, it's okay if you keep it on that side, because that's the thing is that they're all working together. They're playing the same fucking game. You know, it's like good cop, bad cop. They're both cops. It's like good government, bad government. They're both government. Like they're on the same. They're on the same side. If you think they're not, I mean, don't get me wrong. They fight and all that, but it's like they're playing the same game. Sure. What's crazy is Filipino government. You know anything about Duterte? Duterte made it legal to kill anyone you want. You just have to say they offered you drugs.
Oh, he's a drug dealer. I heard about this guy.
Yes.
Yeah, Filipino Trump. Yeah.
Before Trump and the real Trump. Duterte is real. Trump is responsible. Duterte, when he got out of prison is when he became president. Did Trump do time?
No,
He's
rich.
not real. He's
He's
not
too rich to do
hardcore. He's soft. He's baby shit soft.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah.
Stands like a baby.
Shit, he's a little baby hedge. Baby arms. So yeah, it's when I started watching other people's politics.
And Chile is all fucked up too. Like it could be a lot worse where we're at. In Chile, we pay with pounds of money. Because their economy is.
Dude, my sister was stuck in Argentina for a while, and yeah, hearing how strict they are over there, you're like, oh shit, I guess I don't have it that bad. But what I learned about politics by learning about other politics is it's entertainment. Believe it or not, it's entertainment. This is what the American people want to watch. The same way, like last time when it was a black guy versus a white guy, that's what the American people wanted to watch.
Yeah, just wanted to feel like a black president. To feel better about ourselves. The history of slavery.
So when people get pissed at Trump and Biden, no, it's not that you brought these people up. This is like your
get off on.
this is your enjoyment. You know? And the thing is that people go, well, I wouldn't vote for him, well, I would no, you did like subconscious. Like the way like you know how phones work nowadays, how they're tracking everything about you and they know everything about you. Essentially that's what you're doing. They know what you want before you know what you want.
Yeah.
And that's why ads will come out and it's just like, shit, I was thinking about buying that. You know? It's the same fucking thing. People are very predictable. They know like, okay, people seem to be reacting a lot to A or B. So we should pump that out.
Yeah.
And in Mexico, it was a lot funnier. In Mexico, it was a lot funnier. Like literal jokes were being made. Where here, it's a lot more aggressive, a lot angrier. And the jokes are not jokes, they're attacks.
Yeah.
And over there,
For takedown.
yeah.
He took down the Republican Party with this, but every time Bernie Sanders does
Oh,
fucking anything.
exactly. That's the way they're thinking. You can see it in the way they
The
speak,
vocabulary.
in the vocabulary. And in Philippines, I'm not one to speak about it, but I assume it's I'd say it's like a classy form of racism. Like where you can like We just learned, oh, we're not gonna call it racism, but we all know what it is.
Well, it's
racism. Yeah. They were doing that before we were doing it. You wanna know why? Because all Asians look alike, dude. And that's not racist. They say that. Like, it's like, that's why their racism is way more refined. Their racism is to a fucking art form, dude. Our racism is white or black and it's dumb. It doesn't make sense. But their racism, it drives down to the core, dude. Because they can see the difference between, yeah, Korean or Chinese or Japanese or Filipino. Like, there's, and the fact that everyone else groups them together, that's what makes them want to split each other up. That's what makes them hate each other more. You know, it's like fucking Japanese always getting Korean jobs, or fucking Koreans always taking the Chinese jobs. You know, it's like they get mad at each other, and it gets very precise. You're just gonna learn about the
other cultures always.
yeah, and then you apply it to yours, and you go, oh, these
Not so
people,
different.
yeah, these people are just playing that fucking game. May I have the sexy drink?
Oh yeah.
Malibu Tay. I have questions for you. Is that too much? I have questions for you, but
Got off on a tangent anyways.
that's why I'm doing a podcast. I fucking argue. I need to learn how to stop. But it's like, hey, if I could use.
Yeah, no, the crazy, that's crazy shit all the time. I remember I read or I listened to this book by this guy who studied Charles
Let me lick my hands. I'm gonna lick my hands, guys.
Evidently, he thinks that Charles Manson might have been given acid by the CIA.
No, he was. That's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about. And if they had like a whorehouse in San Francisco, CIA did,
Yeah.
where they would give the prostitutes acid to give to John, so that way they could study the effects of acid. After what was that operation called?
Oh, I don't remember that. But yes, it was.
Was shut down. There's that movie with George Clooney in it.
Oh yeah.
The dude.
I don't know
The Men Who Stare Ghosts.
that. Oh.
That movie is about that operation.
I haven't
After that was
seen
shut
it.
down, the CIA still wanted to study acid because they, what the fuck is it? Because they had just invented it. They wanted to see if
No,
it
you're
was
in the butter. Don't forget your secret word.
oh, okay. I'm talking about it.
So
Great stories.
yeah. Yeah, they thought it was gonna be a true serum because essentially it does work as a true serum. Like when they were first starting to test it, you can get people to like
Say anything.
yeah, exactly. But then when it got to deeper tests, it was like, oh, this is not truth serum.
Yeah.
It's a feel good, do anything serum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's sad about it is like they outlaw it and then they test it. And it's just like, yeah, it's just so hypocritical. You know?
They want to feel important, self-important. They're the only ones that get to have fun with YouTube. But they don't even do it themselves. They give it to other people who don't even know.
Yeah.
See what it does.
Yeah, you
They're the only
outsource.
people that are able to do something like that. They're so important and good and powerful.
The government loves to control people, and people love drugs.
True.
So, what do you think the government's a part of? Hey, both of us!
Hey,
See, own it. And yours looks good. It didn't even like stain. Or like hydrophobic or
I
whatever.
don't know.
Fuck, dude.
Yours is dry now.
Yeah. See, I don't even see a fucking mark.
Yeah, look up.
What does? Jake and I were talking I normally say other than Crothers. But anyway, Ingles and I were talking about, has it ever been a good idea to ban something fully outright? Because whenever you ban something fully outright, you lose all the knowledge behind it.
People always automatically want to do it.
Exactly, and that's true.
If you say I can't do something, that's the first thing I want to do.
You made it forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna taste bad. Like we're even guns.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk about guns, but like it's like
I'm all for like regulations, like maybe you should be able to have a bump stock or whatever, but that obviously, that's totally for everyone in Vegas that has a bump stock. And like, but banning all guns, 'cause, I mean, it worked in Australia, but that's only because they're a fucking island. They don't make guns. We make guns. Like, there are so many guns here, it's ridiculous.
but that's the thing is that they still have guns. They didn't necessarily
Police don't even have guns.
no, I know that. But the military,
Yeah, okay.
exactly. When you make something completely illegal, and you say there's no good that can come from guns, fuck you. A lot of good things come from guns. I bet there's a lot of people that are living today because they have a gun and they didn't get one. You know? So it's like you can't tell me that guns are bad. Doesn't mean they're good either, you know? So it's like when you outlaw something completely, when you say like there can't be any good from it, you really lost the battle. I do agree that Australia. I do agree that Australia probably did it right. Just like, hey, how do we just make it illegal? You know, but you have to reach a certain level because any person can be in the military. You know, because you just have to reach a certain level of like training before you're allowed.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
is that so fucking
Yeah,
hard?
like we do with driving. Like
Which we should do more with
Yeah,
driving.
we should do more with driving. But
Dude, I was here. Sorry, I didn't cut you off. I was hearing people talk about like, can you imagine in 50 years when self-driving cars are like the norm? They're gonna look at like, how did they allow people to drive these before? You know, just like these death traps, 100 miles an hour on the highway. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
People must have been dying left and right. It's like, yeah, it was crazy. And people think like, oh, it's the safest time we've ever lived in. Well, it is, but it doesn't make it perfect. Like it's like we have a lot that we can work on. And people think that
we don't have
Tesla's
war. We don't have wars.
yeah, exactly, and not as much like crime. Anyway, people fucking hate the Tesla car. But it's like the self-drive, it's like the auto drive. I think they hate it because they can't get it.
Well, it does.
Yeah, I think
Well, it's also because it's
the
new.
moment they have it, they're like, this is amazing! Like,
It's also because it's new, and anytime anything new comes out, obviously
People are
it's terrible. Yeah,
I
there is
agree.
change, always. Yeah. So, oh, dude, are you 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Bruh, that's dope. Off the tag, if you do a quarter mile or a mile against literally any car, Tesla beats it. Period.
Oh yeah,
It
100%.
doesn't matter.
No, there's literally nothing that can do it.
Nothing. Unless you have like a drag racing car or something like that. Those like super small ones that go like 1,000 miles an hour. Those things could maybe compete, but that's not a car.
Yeah,
That's a completely different thing.
yeah.
Engine with wheels, a little different.
And those can do it.
Yeah, no, they can.
What do they get?
I no idea, but I've seen YouTube videos and
Oh, okay.
it beat Tesla. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
It went up against Lamborghini, a Ferrari, Mustang GT.
Anything that's not electric is
Yeah,
a huge disadvantage.
of course, because yeah, it's much more.
You have to let this combustion come, and you have to let it transfer, and then you have to let it torque, and then you have to hope your tires grab.
Yeah.
And it's just like
the electric engine is just the
grab tires.
immediately.
I'm talking about like I hate that people.
Are afraid of the self-driving aspect. There's a lot of that.
It drives me. That's one of the ones that like, because here's the thing. You and I, we didn't agree on everything, but we didn't But it was that. It's like, oh, okay, I like your opinion, you like my opinion, we don't agree, but that's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, but people who are against like self-driving cars, it's like there's no agreement.
Yeah.
There's no conversation. It's just,
Terminator.
I'm scared and I'm in a panic mode and I don't know what to do and it's just like, fuck, calm down, you know? We can't have a
Have some
conversation. Yeah. Oh.
No, I didn't mean that.
No, I know. But that's what I'm ready for. That's all I was like, you sure you want to say it? But yeah, that's one of the ones that I'm like, no, there's no conversation.
Yeah, no. I tried talking to my mom about it. She's like, God, it's just bad. I can't. And that makes me want to get a Tesla so much harder.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I already want one so bad. It's just so bad. And just being able to have an electric car and then not having to pay for gas, you just have to go to the recharge stations, which you don't have to pay for. They're free, at least for now. I don't know if the future will be, once they have enough cars, or eventually they may charge for it.
So cost of money. Yeah. Right now it's in the budget. Yeah, it's so funny when those people like complain, like, well, I wouldn't get one even if I could because all the charging stations really suck. You know, it's like, oh, like you really like put a pros and cons. Like, should I get this car? Like, fuck you. You're just looking for anything to laugh
Any
on.
reason.
Yeah.
to say that it's bad.
My dad told me a long time ago, he's like, you can find a reason to do anything, or you can find a reason not to do anything. The question is, what are you gonna laugh on? And I was like, you pick. Are you gonna find a reason to do it or not to? You know, you can find a reason to get the Tesla or not to get the Tesla. Your fucking choice. Not that you can do anything you want, but essentially,
More or less.
just pretty much. Yeah. My mom. My mom sent me a video of her taking a wine tour in a Tesla.
That sounds awesome. Being able to drink and drive legally.
I think they drove you, but yeah. Like they'll let you like do one, you know, like go fast real quick. And it was like the SUV one.
That's another thing too, sorry.
No.
But that's gonna be so great about when driving is no longer a thing. No more drinking and driving. You don't have to worry about that
Yeah, yeah.
anymore.
Dude,
Your car can drive you home.
Yeah. You don't have to call the Uber, your car will do it.
Yeah.
It will literally unpark itself, come pick you up, take you home. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to do anything else.
Nope.
Dude, I go on my jogs, like frequently, and I jogged past a Tesla car, and the guy was just cocked back, completely cocked back. And I was just like, wow, motherfucker, like that's great.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I was to hate, it would just be out of jealousy. Like, oh, keep your eyes on the road. Like,
The car has their eyes on the
Yeah.
road. Like,
that's
the point.
Elon Musk was talking about it. It's like, how do you measure the success in Teslas? Because here's the thing: is that when someone gets in a car accident, it doesn't break news. But when someone gets in a car accident with a Tesla,
Tesla, no.
it's
It's so rare. Yeah.
Tesla's the most dangerous.
Yeah.
And so it's like publicity, they get blown the fuck up.
Always.
But
Elon Musk is the king of PR.
statistics, they do way better. And
Much safer.
the word is the way you say it is incidents per mile.
Sure.
When it comes to when the Tesla car is driving, it is an astronomical like lower amount of incidents. When it comes compared
It's
to
a fucking computer. It's not malleable for the most part. Every once in a while, maybe it'll freak out. But versus how often people freak the fuck out about whatever the fuck, they just have a bad day and all of a sudden they can't fucking drive anymore. That doesn't happen with computers. Yeah. Computers don't have a bad day. A computer will glitch out 1 out of a million times.
Sure, exactly. It's like it's not flawless.
It's not perfect, but it's better.
But it's like anyone who's gonna latch onto that, it's like, okay, well, we can't get all the criminals, so just let all the criminals go.
Yeah,
right?
so why have police?
Yeah, why have police? You
Yeah,
know?
fuck it.
We can't stop all the pedophiles, so why should we
Yeah.
stop
So
any?
why
You
does
know?
it matter at all?
And it's like, no, because it's progress.
Yeah.
Actually, the way I say it, but it's to myself, we never started with the iPhone 10. You had to go with the iPhone, and you had to go with the 2. There, what about you?
And now the 11 Pro.
Yeah, and now people are all like,
That.
you can eat on the phone nowadays. It's so easy to say nowadays, like, hey, why didn't we start with these? You know, it's like, because it's a progress. You can't just instantly make the iPhone 11 Pro.
Yeah.
You had to make the iPhone. You had to make the shit phone. You had to make another one.
Yeah, an iPhone period in general, just to be able to have the computer processing, the GPU, and CPU, and then be able to keep it not too hot where it's gonna fucking explode while it's in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not one.
Nonsense.
And then the camera that they have now, with the 3, so you can get 4K pictures. It's not gonna just happen.
Exactly, and people want things just to happen. It's like, bitch, calm down. We're not here for you.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen the S20 Ultra camera? Okay, so when Ronnie came over, apologize if you have.
I told them.
Oh, okay, sorry. Continue. When Ronnie came over, he showed us. He literally took a picture of the moon in front of us. Like, and I mean a perfect picture of the moon. Like it's like, it looked like it was a magic trick. I'm like, this is fake. Like,
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news. It really blew my mind. It was hard to get this phone over that one, but I don't feel about that camera. Like, it's an amazing thing. It is the best camera, period.
Yeah,
You cannot
on
get a
the
phone,
market.
no
They
way.
have the Pixel?
Even the new Pixel is not even close to it. In fact, I swear to God, I'm willing to bet that their Samsung's next phone is not going to have that camera. This was a given. This was like a, look what we can do, you know. But they're not going to do it all the time. That's not the standard. At least that's an assumption. But I went with this phone, got the dual screens, son, and got the. What? This is the only phone I've ever known in my life to have a better FaceTime camera than rear camera. That is the time we live in.
Yeah.
We have better FaceTime cameras than rear cameras. And that blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, okay. Well, I'm not against it, I know, but it's like, you never assume.
Right, of course.
How long have you had your phone?
About 3 months now.
Oh,
And
okay.
everything, I got it. So I went to Juneteenth protest.
Yeah.
Well, man, okay. Well, it was partially protest, partially hung out in the park. And I won screen protector for 11. And I didn't have 11. So it's like,
I guess I gotta get
an 11 now.
Yeah. I've been there. That happens all the time to me. I get a lightning cable and I'm like, gotta go iPhone.
Obviously.
Yeah, no,
It's cool though, man. It's amazing. I love that thing. I use it every day, all the fucking time.
Yeah.
That's why I made it big. I love that thing. Elon Musk said that we're all kind of like cyborgs now. We're all basically 100% attached to our phones. Technology is basically a part of us.
yeah, exactly. Like, where do you want to draw the line? You know, like, because at this point we are there.
Yeah, pretty much cyborgs. And then that thing where he has neural.
I know that very well. I've done a lot of research on that. Yeah. I have a fun theory that I like to talk about. But okay, so you be the guy, you be the perfect guy. You ready for my theory?
I'm ready.
It's not a theory, it's more just like a thing that I thought of and I like to talk about. What we see in movies as, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Try not to talk about it. I mean, not that you do it, but I'm just saying, like, let me say it. Sure. As we see in movies, what is telepathy or telekinesis? What is it? It is when you can interact with something that you're not supposed to touch, you know. Or, for example, when you can read someone's mind, or you can send them a message into their mind, you know. How close are we to that right now? If I was to text you and you were to read it, we are not near each other and we are not speaking, and yet my words are in your mind.
Right.
You know, I do some, and you know, Magic normally has like things with their hands or whatever. Yeah, so it's like I do some things with my fingers, and now you have a message. You know, I have Bluetooth lights in my room, so I turn on my app and I click an app, with one movement, I turn off my light, right? I activate a different part of the room that I'm not interacting with, right? Or another example, my last one will be, if I call you and you're at home, I'm making your phone vibrate. I'm making it move with the power of my mind. And it can fucking fall off the desk, you know? So the point being, the thought starts off with, how close are we there right now already? With being that we're part cyborg, essentially. Are we not almost part psychic as well? And then the thought continues because you know about, because you already, I know you follow me on the route, and you know about the neural. Get rid of the phone.
Yeah.
Now I can text you a message with my mind. Is that not telepathy?
That's 100%.
What if I turn off my lights with my mind? Is that not telekinesis? Are we not there?
Yeah.
But the fact that we call it Bluetooth is different. The fact that we call it Wi-Fi, the fact that we call it 5G, it's like it's fucking telekinesis, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me say
Right
that.
there. Right there. Oh, it's fucking water.
Oh,
Thing. I was like, what is that? It's aliens.
Ah,
They're
so yeah, do you have any opinions on that? Do you agree?
No, I 100% agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I
we're
appreciate
we're getting to that point where when enough people have this thing, we're not going to need to talk anymore. Because you're going to be able to communicate via Neuralink or Bluetooth or text message,
Whatever it is.
whatever it is, and not have to say anything.
Yeah.
Like speech is going to start becoming like how cursive is now. Like when's the last time you fucking ever used cursive?
That's a bold statement. And I agree, I don't use cursive. It is I'll call it a language. It's a language that has died, and language is alive. You know? But it's crazy to me to think that humans go to a point where we don't use speech. Or it would be so rare, you know.
It's just like when the neural becomes so widespread, literally
Oh yeah,
everybody
100 years
has
in the
it.
future or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't have to even be 100 years.
But I'm saying, like, you
It
know,
could be 20. How long ago did we have iPhone? It's like 10 years.
yeah.
That's when the first one came out. And now
Okay,
everyone
10
has
years.
one. Yeah. So
So
like
10
it could be like 20 years.
Sure.
People don't talk anymore. And if you do, you're old.
Ah!
You be an old person.
You don't text.
You don't text with your mind.
You don't Neuralink?
Ha ha, mom.
You don't neurotext?
Yeah. Like if it becomes safe enough and cheap enough, we're like basically get one.
Actually, to be honest, you did just make that realer for me. The way you said, like, it's the same way we laugh at our parents for not texting.
Yeah.
Our kids are gonna laugh at us for not
For
neural.
not using the neural
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. And I see that reality.
It happens super quick.
It could, definitely.
It could. I don't know if it will.
Yeah.
It's going to depend whether or not it's safe. They still only have it in pigs right now. I heard that the first human trial is supposed to happen this year, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah. Did you see the 4 pigs?
Of course. Oh, dude, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Almost anything Elon Musk does all about. It's just, that guy's on the cutting edge.
Have you listened to his podcast with Lex Friedman? They're both pretty good intellectuals, but you can tell that Elon Musk is more scientific based, like he needs facts. He doesn't like to ponder theories. If it's not a testable hypothesis, he will not even waste his brain computing power. Where Lex Friedman is much more emotional and what I'll call spiritual.
Sure.
And so you ask questions like, what do you think happens in the afterlife? And then Elon Musk will reply with, not testable, I don't give a shit, move on. like, yeah, so it's like, and eventually you can normally pull those things out of them anyway, but they were both intellectuals on different levels. So it was really good to hear them speak. They mentioned the incidents per mile, as I was bringing up with the car, the Neuralink, the Boring Company. Yeah, they bring up a lot of shit. So that's a good podcast. You like to listen to him? let's speak the. I'll make sure I send it to you, and if I don't send it to you now when I'm editing, that's the good thing. I love making promises on camera because I get to like watch it later and go, oh shit, here's the thing I was gonna send you. Like, yeah, like, hey, it's midnight, asshole. Like, yeah, it's for later. I didn't send it to you. You know. So, but yeah, I'll get you that podcast. I'll send you the podcast. Yeah, it's a good one. And since you like to listen to them, that's good, man.
Because of COVID, it's all because of COVID. So much of my life has changed. The beginning of the year, I fucking worked at Men's Warehouse, bro.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, I bought from you. You were my guy.
Yeah.
I only bought from you. I bought because you got permission. Yeah. Good. Dude, that meant a lot to me when you gave me the time of day when I was doing life insurance. That meant a lot. I'm glad. That meant a lot. And I appreciate it.
I was happy to help. And I know how important numbers are.
Yeah.
I was in sales. So
Yeah.
I can help you out in any way.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
going to get it because I have 401k with the warehouse.
That didn't bother me. That didn't bother me. It really did not. Because let's say you did get it, and now I'm not doing it, and now you're like stuck with it. You know, I'm glad you did. It was a time in my
I
life.
still invest.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the 401k anymore because I have that warehouse.
Yeah.
But I do invest in the stock market, mostly index funds, because that's the same way to do it.
Oh, okay.
Very money. It's not one company, it's a group of 500 different companies.
So yeah, our thing is tied into the S&P, so
Yeah.
like we're doing the whole.
I have S&P, I'm in the Dow, I do have a little Tesla, I'm buying a bunch of GE, buying a bunch of GE, because GE is super undervalued right now because of COVID. Like, a huge portion of their income is travel, which is happening right now. Yeah, like, planes. Yeah, so GE also, a huge chunk, I guess, of what they make now is through, stuff.
I think GE, I think they're like fusion fund.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
so it's funny, I think it was kind of like stovetop in
Right.
air with wings.
Exactly. Yeah, you're for China or whatever. But yeah, so they were like $6 at the beginning of the year. They were like $15 a share. I bought 20 of them at $6 a share. So I'm hoping once COVID ends, pop back up.
So I apologize, I might have missed the numbers. It's gone down.
Gone down.
Yeah.
It's $6 a share now.
And you bought it at 50.
No. I bought it at 6,
You bought it at 6.
and it was 15.
Yeah.
And
So
before
you're-
COVID restrictions. The hope is that it's going to jump back up.
At least.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I can sell it, make a little bit of money, and reinvest that. My next thing, whatever it is.
Dude, that's, I think I mentioned it to you before because that's one of the things that they're talking about. But like when you're young, when we're at our age, this is the time to make risks.
Yeah.
This is the time to play with your money, essentially. Because you have time to recover if things go wrong,
Yeah, so like,
or you have time to live up your life if it goes right. Where when you're older, you can't risk anymore. You need to be safe. So yeah, I hope it works out for you. I hope you do it. Yeah, coronavirus. Before it started, what was I doing? Actually, I was not in a good place, man. I was doing I just quit life insurance. I just quit life insurance, and it was just before my birthday. It was October, so about a year ago. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking do this. I'm not gonna live on my car. You know.
somebody else's company.
Exactly. I'll do it for myself. I'll do it for my fucking podcast and finish. But for someone else. Before COVID, was doing life insurance, I quit the job, and I was thinking about going into the Air Force. I literally was ready to go to like literally like the application was in, the signatures were signed, everything happened, then COVID. And then once COVID happened, everything started slowing down, and it took weeks to get paperwork done that you can get done because of the absurd COVID shit. Everyone was reacting to it, you know. They didn't know how to do it yet. And eventually I just started getting used to this life. Like now I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna try to do the best that I got right now. And now I'm like in such a good place mentally. I kind of don't feel like I want to do that anymore. But that was essentially this has been my COVID journey. Sure. You know, it went from like, okay, things are going good. I want to change. I want a big change. Oh shit, COVID's the big change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about a big change.
Yeah. Okay, so how do I react to this change that I wanted? And now I'm reacting to it and I'm starting the podcast. I'm trying to just find like simple work essentially. Like I don't need big money right now. And yeah, kind of focusing on myself, you know. Being selfish.
Right.
Being selfish.
Being selfish.
So, thanks for being here, man.
Right.
Like I said, I'll never forget when you had my back that time in life insurance. I meant a lot to me. So yeah, it feels good to have you because number one, you've already done a favor for me before. You know, so I feel like you're doing a favor for me now. Like it's like you're a nice guy. But number two, I feel like I'm in a better space. I feel like at that time you knew I wasn't in a better space, in a good place. You know, it's like I was struggling. Now I'm like, I want to take you on my journey. Oh, try to get on my podcast. Let's hear her. Let's do shit. Let's see your journey. So I'm excited about that.
And very excited to be out.
I'd love to end on that. I'd love to end a little bit more on you and talking about your shows up like every week.
Yeah, so pretty much every week. I'm taking a couple weeks off just to kind of fine tune working with the trio pedal that I have. Just because there's as I was saying earlier, basically I have this pedal that I can program to do any kind of basic drum pattern for whatever song is played into it. And then remember, 5 parts of the song per song and up to 12 songs total. So I have like 5 different SD cards, which is what you use. It's like a mic that shifts your memory. So I have enough, that's enough space to fill up 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
So most bars or places usually only really require 3. So I have a little extra to take over. So I'm just trying to basically fine tune my set so I know what songs to play in what order, and also being able to seamlessly transition because I have the singing and guitar playing. Don't even have to think about that part. What I always have to think about is, oh shit, I have to go to the chorus now. So I have to kick the thing. It's like a little foot switch thing, but I have to hit at a certain point to make sure that I've done it in a way that it's not that the loop isn't going to start over again. And I'm going to have to wait to go another 12 bars or however long it is before we go to the chorus. So it's just a little bit of practicing.
The triple pedal cost you?
Trio itself was $220. I got it used. And then the foot switch I got was another $50. They didn't have it used anywhere, so that ran it. So then I have to go pick up the cables, that much.
But it adds,
It all adds up, hard $20. That's the most reasonable thing.
Yeah.
Also wanting to buy a guitar, because guitars are dope.
Sure. That's not even as a person who doesn't play guitar too often, I want to like. Yeah, that's sexy.
Yeah,
Sexy as fuck.
Cool.
What were you gonna say?
So I have an album coming out. I have it originally, it was going to be released on the 10th of October because it's 10 out of 10. And that's definitely why.
10, 2020.
Yeah, it would have been cool. But it's not ready. It's just not ready. And there's 2 songs that I haven't even finished that I really want to be on this album. So I'm thinking I'm just going to come out with a single once, which I think is going to be the single track that might be a hit right now. I have this other song I really want to come out with too, called Put Your Mask On. But it's fucking awesome. Like it's angry, it's raw, it's a little more punk, but also kind of indie. I don't know. I fucking love playing. It's just like it needs 1 or 2 more parts.
That's actually, I know what I was gonna say, the whole funny. It looks easy. I mean, it doesn't look the easiest, but it looks easy to sing and play guitar and then just touch a foot pedal. You know,
It looks easy.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Very easy. And it looks easy because the people you see doing it are very
are
good.
good at it. Yeah.
Very good. You practice hours a day for months and years on end.
Yeah.
So it looks really easy until you actually do it. And then you're like, oh shit, that's right. I need to fucking do this thing already.
I've never had to do the foot pedals, but I've had to like essentially do rhythm with feet essentially, and I know. So I
It's a
feel
whole other instrument.
yeah, I feel like I can tell from that little experience that it's like, dude, just it takes a long time to learn how to sing and
And
play.
play guitar.
Yeah, that's already hard enough.
Yeah.
And then you're doing that and moving your feet. It's like you have to sing and play guitar at the same time, and that has to go on autopilot.
Yeah.
That is not
It's not easy.
no.
Yeah.
It's I remember it's like as simple as like not the best comparison, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Learn how to juggle. There's a difference between learning how to juggle and then learning how to juggle and like not look at the balls.
Fucking dare you compare it to juggling.
What? Why?
Because juggling sucks.
You're juggling three things. You're
Yeah,
juggling
but
the
it
guitar, you're juggling the vocals, and you're juggling the pedal.
But juggling sucks.
That's what juggling is. You're doing multiple things at once. You put it all in the air. You're putting it all for everyone to
Yeah, but it
see.
sucks.
You're juggling hating pieces.
I am. I'm juggle hating. I'm a juggle hater. I can't fucking juggle.
Hater.
No, I don't.
Hater.
Why would I want to juggle?
Jealous.
Yeah, that's it.
Your jealousy looks bad on you, dude.
Right.
It looks really bad on you.
I look good.
I look good in anything. I look great in jealousy. I look so good in this jealousy, son.
I'm rocking this jealousy right now.
Yeah, I want, but you should say this. You should be like, no. Let me ask you this: how many times has juggling got you laid?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
The same amount of times that juggling has gotten me laid.
Yeah. Also
So,
zero. So
all that effort you put into it was
Oh no, I'm juggling. Look out. Sorry, ladies.
I'm juggling, guys.
Sorry, ladies. Don't get too wet out there.
Calm down, everybody.
I've been affected.
There is enough for me to go around, but no.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No.
So yeah, I think you could win on that one.
More or less what I was trying.
Yeah, it's like it is.
Everything just sucks.
It is lame as fuck, but my aunt is a magician, and she taught me how to juggle, and she got to perform for Obama. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Is he president?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like back in like college.
Yeah. They were college buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like,
about that.
and just like, hey, what's your car?
Take your car.
Yeah.
Is this your car? Nope.
No. But I did perform for you. And I got
ran away.
But it's a performance nonetheless. Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, this is fun, man.
this went really well, man. I really appreciate it.
We're almost 2 hours.
I think we're on 3. Are we on 3 hours?
My phone is dead.
You got here at 5,
I'm here at 5.
and we didn't start till like another half hour later.
Yeah, 5:30.
It is 8:27.
Okay, so wow. Yeah, 2 hours.
3. 5 to 8.
Almost 3, right? Almost 3.
There's
a lot to talk about.
No, yeah, we had a really good conversation. Like, it's like,
What about you?
I loved it because like
Politics, aliens, Trump, music.
it felt good because it felt natural between you and I. You and I obviously know each other in that sense. But it also felt good because it's like we've separated. And you've gotten your ideas and I've got my ideas, and now we can come back and talk about it. On like a good level, you know. And that's just it felt good for me. Like I enjoyed the conversation. And so now I can't wait to edit it because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good shit, dude. Like I think people will like it. I think people will make comments. And we got the first drink, son.
Butterbeers!
Butterbeers! That could have been a little lower of tone, but we went high.
Oh, no, you went high.
We went high. Not anymore. That's been like fucking
In like 20 minutes?
I didn't smoke like I smoked in the beginning. I'm sneaking them right here, like.
I don't know, bro. It smells kind of weird.
No, I smoked with Ronnie, and my mom was like, "You were smoking a lot, aren't you?" And I was like, "Not every episode." Like, and yeah, this one, like, yeah, we can get into it. But we did have some drinks. Anyway, podcast. I don't know how to outro it yet. Essentially,
Usually Joe Rogan just plays his outro. Yeah. I think just